Everybody, it's only up. We would have Brian in, but he's not gonna be here tonight. He said he's too tired.
I'm too tired.
Oh my God, Brian, you're here, but why aren't you in your jar?
I'm in my cage right now, in the other side of the room, and one day I'll explain why.
He's bad.
I've been very naughty.
No jar for him today. Hello, OCD Gargan Joy Boy. It's only up, the game that I should probably give up on. It's still copyright 2023. Only up. Play settings.
Only up player settings. Motion blur. Or Tuyon blur.
Oh, his leg. No, I noticed a great typo. Slow motion.
Yes. Oh, it's slow motion.
Slow motion. Motion.
Slow motion, baby.
I respect that the guy. Look at a little like equal dash. Equal. Yeah.
This is made in HTML1.
that's
like,
not HTML. That's like message board shit from the 2000s. Like, go back, click here to go back. You look at the funny little arrow. I can't put an arrow in here. I do not know how. I love this game. It's an underdog. Oh yeah, better turn off my computer mouse. Last thing I need is for my mouse to go idle and for my camera to screw up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't look.
Oh,
up.
I need to issue.
No, hold on.
Sure
We gotta
we'll
listen.
Make it. I wonder what awaits us there. The unknown is frightening.
There you go. Story, Brian. Did you?
Was that
acting?
Lindsay Ellis?
I think that was Jim Cummings.
Was that Lorenzo Music? He plays Garfield in the cartoons. I would like to issue an apology on behalf of our latest Tunes Talking, because I thought people would want to watch more Avatar. And here's the problem: is that when we were cutting it, I was like, I don't want to watch more Avatar. So we did this neat little editing trick where I now can send a little signal to myself when I think Hellbender I told a really funny joke, so I don't have to scrub through a 4-hour movie about blue people. And we did a Shining episode in under a day. And I'm talking recorded and edited, and I spoiled what the episode's gonna be, and we're gonna do more, and they're really fun. They're gonna be easy to make now.
God willing.
Yeah, that last one we just did was really fun though.
Is that a damn goblin? Smash it. Usually I would smash a goblin, Bob, if I saw him on my monitor. But this was made by one guy and a bunch of really cool NFT people who definitely aren't ripping anyone off their money.
You see this and see the love.
Completely legit NFTs. Nothing wrong with them. Why would you even insinuate that there's something wrong with my NFTs? They're delicious.
Hey everybody, why would you be making fun of my NFTs?
Doing my Steven Asante voice.
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. I'm calling the Pizza Patrol.
Make a choice when you
Man, I hope I outlive that guy. That would be sad. Everybody's like, Nikado avocado. Steven Asante's way worse.
Yeah, that Nikado dude, every time I see it, they're always like, Fallen Titan. But it's like, Steven Asante's missing teeth, dude. It's to the
he's
point.
Super addicted to pills and
it's to the point that I had a friend I used to watch him with, and she was like, I can't watch him anymore. And I was like, he'll voice act for 80 cents. We could give him have him play a character or something. And she's like, do you want your name attached to that shit? And I was like, oh yeah, good point.
You bought his oxycodone for the month.
For the day.
For the quarter of a second.
Yeah. Hi Garg, how you doing?
Mom says, don't be a baguette. Brian hates blue people. You hate mongery. It's true.
One of the problems that I noticed is that either everyone loves that franchise or they're indifferent to it, but like bunch of dummies, man. Just people who are like when they talk about movies being like a theme park ride, I think of Avatar as like high flying adventure, fly over through the CGI forests of Pandora, and you may see the alleged blue humanoids that you can make out with. It's all the comments are about how smart it is. I get it.
And it's just the Smurfs.
It's just the Smurfs. Well, if they had, I think we talked about this. I don't know if it made it into the one that came out.
Oh fuck.
Though there has always
Okay,
been
we're
I'm
good.
sorry, buddy.
What everyone
But
the stability has been shaken.
I don't
Maybe
always
this is a
like in
chance
movies
for
when
that.
something is an analog for something else. For instance, in Avatar, we obviously know the Na'vi are a combination of a few things, but like
Native
they are
Americans
natives
and
to this.
French Smurf
Yeah.
characters.
Yep, we're natives to this land, and we ride horses and have bows and arrow. The fucking aliens have bows and arrows. There's no syphilis in this planet. There's no murderers.
I mean, Predator had like, you know, his wacky bow staff and like his spear and all that, but
that's pretty
Well-
cool though, because it's an honor thing.
yeah, it's like a tribal like space hunter thing, and it's like mixing like, you know, tribalism with future tech, and that's cool to where the Na'vi are just tribal and then they got magic.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're making a good point, because the next thing I just thought about is that,
All they bring to the table is their stupid fucking life tree.
I know. Well, do you remember how we were talking about that Tomb Raider is what if Indiana Jones was a girl, and also
if you want to go far, go alone.
and also what if it was a video game? And then
Yeah.
Uncharted's like, what if Indiana Jones was a video game, then a woman, then a man, then a video game?
Meanwhile, the Indiana Jones video games are just sitting there. It's like, we were okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not all of them
Hey,
are bad. I'll give Tomb Raider credit though. At least Tomb Raider was like a 3D gaming pioneer. Like it was one of the first real 3D games, right?
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of, and
It
it's
did a
sort
lot
of
of
like
firsts.
the Predator.
From
The
here, you
Predator
have a great
to
view of the
Uncharted's
favelas.
Avatar.
This is where everyone lives in poverty.
But at least
which is
Uncharted
hard
was
to get
solid.
out of.
At
This
least
is where my
Uncharted
whole
would
life and the lives of
get
my
you by a
goddamn
boring
parents have
afternoon
been.
if you know opened your mind a little bit to it.
We got depressed looking at the timeline for Avatar.
Avatar is really depressing to watch if you're reviewing it, at least.
Oh man, I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of like Doug Walker stuff. I don't hate him or nothing, but the props to him for even getting through a movie like that and cutting it. I don't understand how they can edit that stuff. It's really hard to cut a movie down into like a manageable.
Imagine having to cut the actual Avatar movie down with James Cameron hovering over your shoulder and like, going, leave that in. It's like, Mr. Cameron, the movie's at 5 hours and 30 minutes. The studio said cut it down to 1/3 of that length, and we have to cut scenes. Leave it in.
I'm a genius. I know how
It's like-
water physics works.
It's just a Navi running across a tree branch. And like, it's pivotal.
God, I hate Avatar.
Who asked what y'all talking about? We're talking about Avatar, the movie.
Yeah, we're talking about Avatar, the James Cameron movie, in the sense that
and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them, and that's
okay. We're talking about
Yeah.
Avatar the movie in the sense that it offers very little in terms of
It's all
knowledge,
filler.
wisdom. It's all filler. Well,
Fuck. God.
oh, dude. Good job.
I tried. I'm like, I'm gonna use a different jump button today because I'm smart. And that didn't work out.
At least you get up really high really fast. You know what I mean?
I am not skillless, but
Yeah.
I lack the very unique skill set
This is-
required to be good at a game like this in particular.
That is totally the default engine animations.
It is. It feels
You're
like
totally
it feels
right.
like San Andreas, like the remake San Andreas.
Oh yeah.
Like that feels like the sea jam climbing up a thing, you know, mantle. And yeah, that is the default skeleton, 100%, which is fine. Again, like, while I'll mock this game for being like empty and sparse and definitely an asset flip and super in violation of many copyrights. On the other end, oh no, where's the train? Oh, there it is. Hey, I beat the train.
Golden Ticket says, no, but it's still stressful, Brian. Just fall off and go all the way back up. A little nerve-wracking. Yeah, I know it's nerve-wracking. I was just trying to say something different than like, oh no.
I try not to scream fuck, you know. I don't get much of like a reaction that I can't control out of a horror game or an action game, but I'll play something like this that like sucks up your time and will punish you horribly. And it'll get a good hearty fuck out of me. I'll be like, no.
It'll get a good hearty fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also get angry at it.
Yeah, then I'll get angry after that. Then it's time to punish it.
Look at you go.
Reminds me of that comic. It's like, man, today at work sucked. Nobody celebrated my birthday. But you remembered my birthday, right, Mr. Sacco? I sure did remember your birthday. You're a liar. And just for that, I'm going to come in you. And all of his friends are waiting to throw him a surprise party in the dark.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's one of my favorite jokes is that somebody's throwing a surprise party and they see you enter your home like the first thing you do when you enter your home is like
the first thing you do.
Yeah,
first thing
like
I do whenever I get home is I just take my pants off like as fast as I can. Like
I immediately have roleplay sessions with my favorite sock puppet.
Yeah. Ooh says, Brian,
have you seen The Flash?
Yeah, yep. We've been watching clips of it and I find it to be horribly offensive. But I have a lot of questions. It's weird how quickly that franchise falls off the rails.
Unlike me.
Look, like if I've never seen anything fall off the rails. I've just never seen anything where it's like this movie was in the can for 6 years before they were like, all right, now just throw the shittiest CGI at it.
We didn't even watch fucking Avatar 2.
Well, we're not watching it. We might watch The Flash, but The Flash actually does kind of make me sad.
The Flash might actually be funny to watch. And when I think about watching Avatar 2 versus The Flash, I think like, at least I might laugh at The Flash. Avatar 2 is going to be like 5 hours of like, look at this alien race I made up. Aren't they cool?
We talked about, it's a lore dump. We talked about watching Avatar 2 on like triple speed at one point, but even then it's like, we can't riff on it because it's, I don't know.
Well,
Helmet and I both have other jobs.
It's both incomprehensible, but also the most paper-thin story you've ever heard. Like, even the thing that it's a parody of is like a much more dense version of it. And shorter.
Yeah, it's true.
To get to the new one, you first have to make
I just don't give a shit about the Navi aliens. And then whenever I hear like, well, you know, it actually really makes you think. What's it make you think about?
Like Thanksgiving?
It is just, and I'm not saying, oh, these woke, you know.
Brian, it makes you think how Thanksgiving's not fair to brown people.
All right, Helvin, I'm not gonna take.
Avatar taught me that. I was really mean to brown people of all varieties, but then I saw Avatar 2: Way of the Water.
It was like the fourth stream in a row.
James Cameron.
Yeah, I don't think James Rolfe should have made Avatar 2, man.
James Cameron is fixing racism with his new Avatar movie.
James,
KKK is dissolved.
I was just thinking of naming the movie James Cameron's Cute Blue People movie. Like, it just becomes like this ultimate. Man.
I do like when the submarine thing happened, people called James Cameron and he answered his phone. He's like, oh, is it about Titanic diving? Oh, I can't wait to talk to you about that. Oh, did someone die? Told you it was dangerous.
I do, and James Cameron warned us about AI. The other day I was just texting people going, on July 25th, um, Chat GPT will have become sentient, and we all need to get worried. And then someone's like, "How did you find this information out?" And I'm like, "Can't you see it? It's thinking, it's breathing, it's being." And they're like, "Really?" And I was like, "No, are you fucking high? It's like a fancy Google search. All it does is string sentences
It's like
together."
what if you Google search something and it made like a 100 billion assumptions about it and gave you the most probable assumption out of the bunch?
Pretty much.
I hate this long jump. It doesn't fucking work. Ah.
Oh, nice.
It's scary. This one, when you fall off it, there's a really good chance you go all the way to the bottom because of the angle that you go down at, and I've learned that over many failures. What game will Hellbent stream next? I don't know. It's whatever I feel like at that particular moment.
I keep trying to get him to play Crash 4 and get through it, but
yeah, that'd be
it's a
good. We
fool's
can do
errand.
Crash 4 next. You free tomorrow, Brian?
Hellbent, I will take any day out of the week off for you. You know that.
Okay, tomorrow is Crash 4.
Some say that
Tomorrow's
some
Crash
may
4, no
need oil,
backsies.
but
I
it
don't
is
want to
unlikely
hear.
happen sooner than in 20 to 30 years.
I never do backsies on
Meanwhile,
Crash
oil
4.
is still a resource that people kill for.
Okay.
Blow
There
out
was a
your
day I thought we were
backsies.
gonna do it, and I misinterpreted.
Blow out your backsies.
I'm glad you're backsies.
You're blowing out your backsies if you keep canceling on me.
Ooh said, "Did you hear about the bill to censor stuff online?" Yeah.
A new one?
A different one? They've been making them for... they've been making those since I was in, like, high school.
Yeah, well, if you ask me, you all deserve to be censored.
Some of the depraved shit...
Okay, show
Twitter's
me
the
the
only
guy
place.
transforming into the diaper, then tell me what about that is necessary.
Okay. So, in fairness, like, Twitter is the only place I've ever seen the president talk about, we're going to clean up the streets with this, that, and the other. And then immediately right under it is, like, a lady going, "You want to see my many fluids?" It's just like, what the
Look,
hell?
I'm squirting out all over the floor. And then you see Joe Biden, like, eating ice cream. It's like, I like chocolate. I like mint chocolate chip.
This is the best ice cream place is over here. Yeah,
And
exactly.
somebody going like, and P.S. I got...
And
I got
someone on
I
Twitter.
got a disease from my cat, and I need money for it.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then right under it is like some rant Sona guy going, "Goodbye forever. Don't ask what's wrong."
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? Yeah, there needs to at least be some better organization. Like, can I have like a politics section followed by the squirting section on my Twitter, please?
Well, yeah, the
I don't
thing is, you
need
really
that.
can't get old internet back because, like, the cat's out of the bag about how advertising on the internet is, again, as we always knew from way back when, pointless. Like during the .com boom, advertisement went up and then it shot down because, again, they realized nobody was buying the products. They weren't really clicking through or anything. Then YouTube comes out and all of a sudden the advertisements are worth money again, and then it bottoms out yet again.
Well, the problem with the .com bubble, from what I remember, is that it was like they were literally saying the phrase "theoretical dollars." It's like, theoretically, if everyone clicked an ad every time you went on a website, you would make like, you know, $3 or whatever. And so they were selling them based on like theoretical dollars, and suddenly, you know what? It's the same shit as crypto. It's just like, theoretically, this is worth $6 billion.
It's only been a little bit over, what, like 10 years since you've had ads on YouTube, and that was the real beginning of the monetization craze. I mean, I guess you do have like PayPal and, geez, I'm trying to think of old ways you get support, because you see at the bottom of like an old web page, click here to support this website.
Kindergarten, school,
Yeah.
army, institute, factory.
Now I got to get on
Um,
stream and have like
hello,
bananas
people.
fly on the screen and go like, yummy, yummy, yummy. That's too spicy.
Oh yeah,
Yummy.
we've been watching that.
Gang, 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 gang. It's too spicy.
I don't remember that person's name. We've been watching this person who like has giant hips, and then every single video is like daily body check, and then it's just her like kind of wiggling her hips and then turning around.
It's
And then going like,
softcore
blah, blah, blah,
porn
blah.
for websites where it's like, well, I want to be able to post porn here because there's a drought of porn. And I'll
Right.
post the most on-the-edge stuff I'm allowed to because the clientele on this website really wants porn. And you just can't sell advertisers with porn. They just don't go for it.
In fairness, I have coworkers that are in their 60s and all they do is watch videos of like Asian girls on TikTok where it's like, let me try this ice cream. And they look at the camera, this is yummy ice cream. And I'm like, when I do this in real life with a girl, I'm bored. How do you...
They would have called you cringe.
Cringe.
Yeah, I mean, our forefathers would have said cringe anyways.
Our forefathers who aren't in heaven.
Ancient
would have said
mummies
cringe.
who worship gods like
Cringe.
Ra would go, this is cringe.
Man, I don't understand people who are like,
That was so...
whoa, good jump.
I had to pull the joystick to the right to get him to snap to, and I'm like, no.
I can feel my heartbeat.
This game, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna say it outright, this game's shitty, but at least it can like elicit, like, even during your most
Human emotion.
like bland moments, like like when you're balancing a bunch of dishes and you see one just slip to the right, it's like
Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like.
That's my favorite one.
We need to just do that with like Hellvent. Like we just paint your face red. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Thank you
I'll
for the
just
like.
play a soundboard, just rip everyone off.
Oh yeah. You don't have to actually say it.
I don't
You
even need a
have to
soundboard. Yeah, I can just have it play on cue and just like record like 20 dialogue and be going. You know, it's really him. He's been doing this for 38 hours straight. Yeah, it's totally him.
Oh man. I like the idea that like you go to the bathroom somehow while you're on TikTok. Like I'm just trying to think of how to do that without a be right back screen. We're looking at my face for 5 minutes.
I'm pretty sure they just get banged. Go, I gotta pay, and then they just like get up and walk away from, just leave the camera and just going.
Ooh, called it an NPC stream. That sounds
that's
right.
what they call them.
Okay, I didn't know there was a name. What's going on?
Am
I old?
And I've explained this to you. Is that they act like a video game character from Skyrim, like just some idle character.
Oh, like that girl that attractive lady with the blank face that was going like if an NPC went to the mall.
Yeah.
On YouTube, yeah. You know,
they kind of frame by frame themselves, but it's hard to do that on a live stream. So you just go, thank you, and you just repeat your same motions and just, you know, they're gonna get like joint injuries from doing the same motions over and over again, and then they'll see what's too spicy.
It's like those people who always want to work on the Muppet Show, and they get the job and they like have severe spinal problems.
I feel no badness for using the slow motion here at all.
That's funny. Is that like a feature in the game?
Yeah, it's just in the game. I don't think it counts as cheating unless you go up to the top and it goes, you hit the right trigger, and then it tells you the bottom.
That's awesome. And then we're gonna talk about being special. That's cool. It's like a Zack Snyder. Like, oh, I'm gonna jump now.
Watch, I'll do it without slow-mo. I'm so brave, it's so spicy. And it really was spicy.
Maybe, and this is just me being me, but I'm not a very, like, I'm not the most, how do I put this? Look, I can have intercourse with my significant other and then kind of like go about my day.
Well, no
but I know a lot of people
that.
But a lot of people have to have like pornographic stuff on their like computer screens, or like I've met people who have like hentai posted all over their walls, and they're like, "Well, you're weird for not liking that. You know, I'm very sexually open, and you're just kind of a prude." And I'm like, I don't.
It's what makes me happy. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where it's like, but also you could just watch Japanese girls licking an ice cream cone and being like, very good. And it's like, what is this?
And we need to
There's
protect.
videos
Now which port he is
on the
sailing
internet.
to.
There's
Not only will be a
OnlyFans that
tailwind.
people think you have to pay for. I don't get it.
I don't mind using slow motion on this part either because it's a dick
Yeah,
move
this
to put
is
you on
pretty-
it moving anything. And it's and
I know.
anybody who's played a platformer knows it. Yeah, no.
Is she catching it? Ah, good.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like
Anyway,
the Crash
yeah, it's
Bandicoot
just
problem
another-
with perspective, but I can move the camera like this, so I can kind of like go, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't get. It's weird because it seems like it's inverted, like this very overtly sexual stuff. And I guess the answer is it hasn't inverted. It's they're just trying to find a way to put sex appeal into websites
Into a place
you
that
can't do
doesn't
that
have
with.
it. Yeah, the entire
We
point
have
is
to
that
force it.
it's a market that is untapped by porn because the market rejects porn, right? They don't want porn in their website, so
Right.
because of that, like, it has to take a new form. And for a lot of people, I assume they probably just like a new thing too.
That's true.
It's like,
Well, so I
I've never
remember-
jerked off to something like this before. Whoa. Hey, Tony, look at this. She goes,
It's a pleasure.
that's the part where I blow my shit. Everybody's very open about porn and everything these days. I don't think there's been a more openly sexual society. Even the 60s would blush.
Yeah, the 60s were like, I don't want to see your big boobed anime lady on my wall.
I would love
please.
to show like free love, man. Like, you know, like going braless is like cool,
And
dude.
show the video of like backdoor squirting 9, like
Backdoor squirting 9. They might like that though. I imagine if the lady just like shooting out like 4 liters of urine onto a dildo is enough to turn the hippies off from free love. I imagine you can find
it
some
looks like
hentai.
they turned the faucet on.
I can't believe my stepsister is a level 99 dungeon monster and wants to have sex with me. Like,
Yeah,
the titles are
stepsister
like
shames
long.
me. Stepsister shames me into into JOI. Who's Joy? I don't understand. Orson Welles is getting mad at the screen. I don't understand. Who is Joy?
Who is Joey?
John Oppenheimer Enceladus.
But I do
My
find the
old
way
enemy.
that the artist draws the food to be delicate and very, very,
Delectable.
yes. Perhaps make
I've
a
heard the whole
an
story,
instructional
Brand's
cooking
describing.
show.
Yeah, no, I can't get over. I think I got in trouble last time we were talking about this stuff because I was saying after the girl's done doing what she does, she needs to look at the camera and be like, all right, now I'm gonna tell you who is behind the grassy knoll.
Oh no,
It
that's
would
fine.
make it like 30 times more interesting. God, I'm gonna tell a really personal story.
Yay! Personal
I remember
story
the
time.
first time. I remember the first time I found out I like girls. It was in first grade,
2 months ago.
2 months ago, and I got a copy of Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko with what's her name from Baywatch on the cover. Right?
Yeah, God, what is her name?
Yeah. What's her name? The pretty curly haired lady.
The B.
We can actually, I can look it up. Boob lady.
Boobs McScuzzo.
Donna McHonkers. Let's see.
Pamela Anderson. Figured it out.
It's not Pamela Anderson. It's
OCD says David Hasselhoff. Can you imagine what if David Hasselhoff had a big dick? Can you imagine that? OCD.
Playboy model Marlise Andrada.
Twitter is
Look
like
her up.
an interesting website for one reason, and that's because they're the most porn-friendly one I've ever seen in my life.
That's how the
Even
visually
now,
impaired
under
feel.
current ownership.
I don't envy them. And
Okay,
I don't
she
Like,
was
I've
in
seen
Baywatch?
things that I would never, ever see on my own volition, and I can't convince you that that's not the truth.
Yeah.
You'd be totally right to call me and go, that's bullshit, bro. Bullshit, ho, but you're way into that. It's fine, whatever, but I still wouldn't have seen it without Twitter.
Oh, okay. This lady just disappeared from doing Playboy stuff, but she was Playboy in Baywatch, and she was just a lovely model. And they obviously hired her because it was like, this is the more adult Gex.
That's so spicy.
Her name was, I actually just looked it up, Marlise Andrada. That sounds like a spell. Marlise
Marlise.
Andrada. Anyway, I just remember
Many a
looking at the
boner
cover.
for the web ad, for the magazine ad.
Yeah. I looked at the cover of the game, and I remember just sitting under a table with my legs crossed, looking at the cover, going, "Okay, I need to feel some emotion here, but I don't know what the fuck is supposed to happen."
You remember plumbers don't wear ties? Oh, I'm glad I didn't fall for that again. I fell for that
do
once.
remember. Oh,
Yeah, the booby lady for that one is in wrestling now.
oh, that's cool.
And you know what? To her credit, she still got it for her age. She's still looking great.
OCDE says, the boob lady, B. Arthur.
No, she's
Someone else. B. Arthur. Just one more round, friend.
more like B. Arthur's corpse. She's fucking dead, man. You can't measure titties on a dead lady. It's not fair.
It's just not polite.
You're a friend and a confidant. Measuring her boobs while she's measuring her dead body's tits. Like, how big
You know
were
how
they?
hard it is to be a fembot ruled in a fembot man-pewter's world.
There are a lot of dead actors in Futurama, huh?
Coolio's gonna be in the new season. That's how.
He's
that's how
dead.
long animation takes.
Screw them, using slow-mo here. I don't care if it's cheesy.
I remember when the Muppets met Coolio, and Coolio taught him to sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Remember that? Some of those samples were used in. They were used in. What's the name of that? Oh, Studiopolis. Some of those instruments from that song.
And they got the Black Eyed Peas on, and they stole one of Elmo's songs, and Elmo complained about it. And they found him chopped up in a briefcase.
I just told Hellman about the song where the dude wrote the for like an old 90s trance. What is that trance like?
Yeah, it's an old 90s techno trance song, and then like Black Eyed Peas just clearly lifted it and just put lyrics
they
over
lifted
it.
They found a sample of just the and they just went I got a feeling, and that was it.
Yeah,
and then
honestly
sue
is
him,
fine
apparently.
as long as you credit. You know, it's like sampling's a part of music. You might owe some residuals since you took the whole song, but instead it's like
I think the dude was owed some kind of residuals, and then somehow Black Eyed Peas won the case, and then like sued the dude back, and there's some rumor that the guy's dead now. It's really not cool.
Which is kind of sad. I'll give him credit in some cases like that. If you don't sue them back, you make yourself you open yourself for liability. It's like, well, if you really believe this, why wouldn't you sue them back? But yeah, it's clear that they ripped the guy off.
Oh man, I just talked to a lawyer about the Darrow Destroyer shirt, not because I needed a lawyer, but because he's a friend of mine
the
and
Darrow
thought it was.
Destroyer shirt for people.
Well, I'll start over in a second. Fine, I'll start over now. So the bad guys in my movie Cave of the Space Nazis are called the Darrow. They're from the short story series in the 30s called the Shaver Mysteries. It's about this dude who saw these underground creatures that were kind of akin to like, they were before the gray aliens, but they were kind of like proto-gray aliens. And
which gray aliens are just like the standard light gray ones that you know from like stickers.
Yep, and they're supposed to be kind of like devolved mutated humans that like they kidnap people and force them to do horrible shit. And so they're in my movie.
They laugh at him.
And yeah, and we just made out.
They
But
dress
they're
up like
really
old women
funny.
and make out with you, and then they take off the dress and go.
In the actual interview that Shaver did with like the radio station, they're like, how do they get food? And he goes, they sneak up and they buy it at grocery stores. And you're like, all right, this guy's full of it.
I do love any story that has aliens sneaking into grocery stores to buy food.
Yeah, like they go to like Chipotle or whatever. I'm hungry.
It makes me think the author's been kicked out of stores before, and that's something he has to deal with. And he's like, oh, I like, write what you know.
You know, they're in on it.
I feel more.
But
like in the story.
anyway, so
Japanese
I drew like a
at the
concept
end,
art of a
really
Darrow, and I gave
giant.
it to some Shavertron, which is this YouTube. Like, this guy's just a big fan of these old 30s stories, and he does interviews and shit. And then just one day while I was ego surfing, actually I wasn't even ego surfing, I was looking up the Darrows, and an eBay thing popped up, and someone took it with like a hand over a globe, and it says Darrow Destroyer.
They stole
And then
his
Humbert
art
and I
and put a piece of
They
clip art
stole
over
my
it.
art. Yeah, and you joked that it was like, I bet if you type in demon hand, and then I did, and it was the first result.
I wasn't joking. I'm like, that's definitely clip art.
Yeah, I definitely. Well,
So this guy's
and I have
shtick
a,
is he like finds people drawing space creatures or monsters. Then he
They
takes
just
this
take
clip art of a hand over the globe and he like stamps it over it, and then he sells it on a t-shirt and goes, authentic monster t-shirt.
he also just makes bootleg Simpsons and South Park T-shirts, and
And keep in mind, this has been going on forever. Tons of animators that I've known over the years have like found people doing that. It's like, how do I stop them and get the money I'm owed? And it's like, you just can't. Like they'll just crop back
well,
up.
also, that dude probably made $14 in his entire life off that kind of stuff.
Some of those
The
guys
South
have
Park
made
shirts.
sick amount of money.
But I bet it's on the South Park show. We were talking about it would be really funny.
No, like on some internet animator stuff. I'd
that's
mention
fucked up.
the person in specific, but they're I don't wanna. We're good.
We
Let's
don't-
put
we
it
don't
to you
gotta
this
mention
way: a person made a comic that was really popular at a time and shared as a meme, and some t-shirt guy took it and sold like 10,000 shirts of it, like an obscene amount of shirts with it were sold.
Right, and that man's comic was Salad Fingers.
That guy probably too, yeah.
Salad Fingers, I bet, would be a big one. But are these people raptured? Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I thought they're going to heaven.
Yeah, so anyway, I have a friend who's a lawyer, and I never talk about him as my lawyer friend. He's into cinema, and he does movie stuff, and he helped get fundraising done for my Crispin movie, and he's been a tremendous help. He told me, he's like, do you want me to go fuck with this guy? And I was like, I don't know what you're gonna get out of him. And he's like, I can scare him for 5 minutes and then
What
tell
fortune
him
did you
like,
give? She can't take away.
he's like, ultimately, what do you want? Because I can get you like half the money for the shirts. And I was like, you can do that, but I don't think he's made a cent off these. And then Helvent goes, what if he's made more than the budget of your movie off the shirts? Brrr.
Not too spicy.
Hey, what's up, Toxic? And Joaquin was saying, my spirit. I willed that with my spirit.
Hey, Toxic Hell. We're still making progress, Brian. I only screwed up like one time so far.
You're doing really good, buddy. I think we should just get me like live action. I just did my hair. I can.
You know,
like,
I beat
look at the
God of
camera
War
and go, "This is
Ragnarok."
spicy."
Yeah, Brian
Yeah.
wants to get on camera. I'm good. I like my avatar, but
I'm not getting on camera. It's just spicy.
I can't
So what
wait
about
till
God of
we
War?
can get like convincing like 380p video of like a lady TikToker in AI. And then it's just the Wild West because anybody can like make a weird thing like that now. Like, look, I just need her to undulate properly.
I was gonna tell you, I realized that like the people who watch the kind of content you and I make, like those the youngest of them, they're afraid of the 4:3 aspect ratio.
Oh yeah, that's got to be confusing. It's like that's not vertical or wide.
I don't understand. That's almost a square.
Toxic Hell, I don't know if Brian would have fun watching me play Bulletstorm, but I think he'd find the dialogue fun.
I love good dialogue. I love bad dialogue.
See, so any dialogue. This game has dialogue. It makes one a dialogue. Yeah, I'll be here all night.
We have a coworker that says really racist, horrible, like homophobic. Whatever. It doesn't matter who you are, or where you're from. He'll say it. He'll say it in a really offensive Polish accent.
He's not afraid to say what we're all thinking.
Yeah, he talks like Super Mario, so people just kind of let him like, do you know what? Insert race here. You know, it's like, which one? There is insert race here. Man,
you think is the most stupid?
Yeah.
This one.
And so he's Polish, and Polish people like traditionally apparently love talking politics and race and stuff.
Well,
so I googled.
Yeah, they kind of got it during World War II pretty hard, so it's like a thing over there.
So I googled it, and there's a subreddit called Reddit Polish people, and then the name of the subreddit is we're not actually all racist. And I feel bad that like this dude's a horrible stereotype. Anyway, is there a point to why he was saying just nonsense?
Well, by one, so everybody can cheer for me and give me money now because I win.
Good job, Hellbent. You gotta jump back down now.
I like how that's like a 3D face done in like I guess you got a brush tool for Unreal. It's all three. That's great. I can't tell if it's mocking me or not. Like that little low-res JPEG behind like the... Look, is this a joke? I guess it's a joke. This game has a real raw feel to it. It is like an MS Paint video game. It's like... This is what the raw free tools allow us to do now, and it's pretty amazing. And also, you still can't escape the amateur trappings of... I made this in MS Paint. And also, this English isn't this person's first language, so how did he spell winter right there?
In crayon.
Yeah. Who's helping him?
Toxic Hell, yes, I do think getting 10 games for $24 is a good deal, but it really, really, really depends on the games.
Oh yeah, because I can get you 10 games for $24, and then that'd all be like Madden titles on PS2. I mean, there you go.
Oh god, I was gonna say 10 games for $24 on Steam would be like all RPG Maker crap.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been recommended a lot of RPG Maker stuff, and I hate to reject it based off that after all the compliments I've given Unreal 5, but sorry. It's dated. Like
when I
RPG
see Unreal
Maker's
5,
super dated.
Well, when I see Unreal 5 now, I was thinking yesterday I was playing Crash 4 at my nephew's house, and he plays it on I think he has a regular PS4, right? And then he's playing it on like a 720p TV. Sorry.
Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find.
Yeah, so he's
Knock,
watching it like
and it will be open to
720p,
you.
and it's choppy. It's like Crash 4, 30 FPS on the regular PlayStation. I'm like, it is not rendering that much. In fact, the gaming rig I made around the time of the PS4 coming out is playing it at like 200 FPS 4K. And so what I realize now when I play games with engines that they're nice and compartmental.
Oh, this
what the
3D
particle
scan
effects.
McDonald's food.
Oh,
Like it's a great 3D scan of some McDonald's. Like I don't think you can take apart the pieces bit by bit, right? But you can make some
It's
props.
all one bit.
Yeah, you can make some props though. Maybe 3D scan some individual fries or something.
Toxic Hell, that does sound like a good deal.
It's like an oddly high quality asset. And then you look at the other ones, and they're just kind of like crappy. It's like, oh, it's a fucking.
Well, that's what makes this game weird and freaky, and it gives me kind of a dirty, unfinished MS Painty feeling. Is like suddenly there'll be like this really like look at that blackened chicken and shit.
And lemons all low, like looks like a Dead Rising asset. Then you come up here to the fucking fillet of fish or whatever. It's like, oh, that looks actually pretty real.
Yeah. There's ray tracing on that.
It's just really well textured because it's like it's all 3D capture with the camera or whatever, right? So the texture work on it's immaculate. It's like flawless texture work on there just about anyways. Like I look at this and I still see a photograph, but then I see like the 3D angles of them. I'm like, hot damn.
Man.
In VR that would look real. They even got like that one little flake right there on the burrito. that's spectacular. You know, I can't like not look at that every time I walk by. I'm like, damn, look at that food.
The older I get as an artist, the more I look at stuff. I'm like, man, just 3D scan everything, just trace everything. Who cares?
Well, at least in the realm of 3D, like if you played Resident Evil 7 or 8, you played 3D scan stuff. Like almost all the environments in there are just 3D scan stuff. Resident Evil 4 was a lot of reference photography actually too for the textures.
That makes sense.
They also stole a lot of the textures and recently had to pay out a lot of money as fans discovered that a lot of the textures in Resident Evil 4 were just outright stolen from Getty Images and such.
I think I forgot to turn
Did they have to do that for the new one?
Go back.
The new one had actually had artists like doing work on it, so that didn't, you know, affect them too much. But
I love stuff where that people have been mining textures lately. I don't know if that's a nostalgia feeling or what.
Definitely nostalgia, but like it's more like
cool.
It's more like beating a dead horse. It's like squeezing every little thing you can out of something. It's especially fun when they find alphas like on development kits.
Yeah, but it's like I love seeing how the product is made. Like I'm sure there's all sorts of behind the scenes drawings from like early Simpsons we'll never see. I've seen a few cells photographed and like on a modern cell phone or like drawings, and you're like, there's something nice about seeing the source of the product, right?
Oh yeah.
So I like that stuff. Hi, cat.
There's a mattress down here and I don't know where it leads, but if I jump on it, I might learn. Also might fall and die.
Their fall damage.
No.
That's cool.
What do you say, chat? Should I see where the bed leads or keep going the safe way?
Yeah, chat.
Chat, what do you think? I'll bet you do.
What do you think?
Should I take the bed or should I take the safe path? Joaquin just insinuated I might be a pussy. Fuck you. I'm gonna show you how much I win this bet.
So I just saw that Nostalgia Critic video. You're making the jump. Good job. Does James Rolfe actually say anything in it?
What? No, this is scary and bad. Oh no.
You're getting up there. There's something.
It sucks over here. This doesn't help me get up there at
This
all.
area sucks.
Why would you do that? Why would they put this in here?
So the streamer would get mad. This isn't cool.
That's really unfair to do to me. Oh fuck.
Yeah, is it unfair, huh?
Well, shit. Shit on a biscuit.
Oh my.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't think there's actually. Yeah, that's
I just realized we're not using AI properly. We should be using it to like put Bigfoot in the trees. Like, we need to start making photos of Bigfoot. I'm gonna go get a picture of a forest right now.
Yeah!
My favorite video of Bigfoot.
I bumped into the
as-
thing. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Hooray. I won't do that again.
My favorite Bigfoot videos are the ones where it's like at a weird angle and you're like, that seems broken. That's not right. Like when people are looking down the mountain at Bigfoot and Bigfoot kind of looks up at them and then it's like really far away.
I like all the Bigfoot smut that exists. That's fun. You'd think it would be foot fetishists, but it's actually just lonely mountain wives.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Candine.
Oh yeah, Washington's haunted forest. Ooh.
I want to be staunchly anti-AI so I can like defend my vocation, but look, I always say this: they outsource all the animation in North Korea, then they pay the voice actors pennies to the dollar, then they don't even pay
South
the writers
Korea.
at all. No, it's North Korea. I have a friend who works there.
Oh, okay.
if they could outsource to North Korea to save even more money,
They
they
would.
would though.
They would totally.
And all the animation reviewers would ignore that. They'd be like, no, that's just how it's done.
Every single person right now is like, artists are being treated so unfairly. They never ever seem to go like
Or Korean animators, like, fingers are bleeding as they're drawing with like the very last end of a pencil. And it's like, if you use up that pencil, you get no more. And if you can no longer draw, you're fired. And he's trying to draw Peter Griffin's face the exact same way. Like, ah.
I wonder how much they deal with like asset flipping in Family Guy where they can just reuse assets constantly.
I heard that they didn't let them do that for a while, and then eventually they like said, okay, this is getting stupid. We're putting way too much extra time into this.
Okay, totally. Cause like it seems ridiculous to me that they wouldn't do that.
I like how like a lot of the animation greats like make sure to send it to when you send it to Korea, make sure to do it right or you'll have to do retakes and we can't afford those. And it's like, what do you mean you can't afford to do a retake? Well, we got to pay the Koreans to do it again. And you're the creator of the show? Yeah, I animate it.
I animate it.
If you're outsourcing your shit to Korea, you didn't animate a whole lot.
That's awesome. Well, Futurama's finally back, and
Brian
I
hates
still
it.
think no, I didn't love the first one, but the Futurama, like the Comedy Central years, I'm pretty sure every frame was traced from like Futurama stock art. Like they had the character model sheets, and they're like, "Do not deviate."
I mean, yeah, it'd be smart not to deviate. Other shows have done what Futurama's done and have looked really good doing it, so definitely don't want to. I'm just gonna go this way, I guess. It's fine.
But the new episode, they all look a little funky to me. That's all.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but I mean, I think I don't know. I didn't like the first episode because it had the Rick and Morty problem to where it's like writers writing about writing.
I don't like episodes where they go to Hollywood and then they start making a show.
And it's just like Futurama.
Yeah.
We're referencing our own show within our show. It's a story about what the writers think.
I don't give a shit what the writers think about it. And they're on Hulu. It's like Hulu, but it's for idiots. Like, all right.
You're dumb if you buy the thing that our thing airs on. We're that contrarian.
What about on the Simpsons movie where he's like, anyone who goes to see a movie version of a show's a giant sucker.
I think it was Aqua Teen, to where it was like, you pay for cable, and then all the characters look at the screen and go, "You're stupid."
Oh, that's pretty good.
As a good Aqua Teen.
That's a lot easier. It's weird. I'm the only one who liked the Comedy Central season. I think you like the Comedy Central season of or the seasons of Futurama.
I like the second, third, and fourth season of Futurama. Then I'm like, I like the other ones, but I'm not like those are my favorite episodes ever, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
And the problem is, ones like Bender's Big Score and the movies that are considered as seasons now. Now it's the serial where I gotta watch like 4 or 5 episodes to get the whole plot, to where in the earlier seasons the 2-parters were like a finale or something that came up once in a while.
I really like
season 1 for being like the start of let's get the animation down right the first time, so when people watch this down the line they're like, ew, season 1 looks all fucked up.
Season 1 looks pretty good. But like, I think what starts to get me is that you get down to like the fox hunting episode, like, and every season of Futurama has at least like the Blurns Ball episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or it's like, we don't even want to try to make the future thing make sense. We're just gonna call it Blurns Ball.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even a filler episode. Like, I'm looking at season 1.
Look, Brian, it was at 38 minutes last time. Now it's at 52 because I thought I would do it. I thought I was gonna not be a pussy.
I know.
Look what not being a pussy got me.
Space Titanic. Fry goes to college. Fry in the Slurm factory. See, that's where I'm like,
I don't think the Slurm episode needed a sequel either. I did like the Moon episode. I think that was one of the early episodes of Futurama that like got it perfect right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll make my own theme park with blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the theme park. I'm like, there you go. It's funny.
I know that's the
memorable.
First Bender episode. Yeah. That's the first one where you just throw it all on him.
He finds the Crushinator.
I love but father, I love him.
Yeah, plus size woman. Everybody's afraid of her. So they, got
I'm
rid
looking.
of her.
Well, season 2 actually has a lot of fucking memorable ones, but like Raging Bender is kind of where I'm like,
I think they should let the Crushinator play the flute at the Super Bowl. They should just change Lizzo's name to the Crushinator.
All right, let's see.
I would convert into a genuine fan immediately if a large like singing lady is like, my name's the Crushinator. Like, you're great.
Okay, thank you for the like. Thank you.
I'm the Crushinator.
All right, I'm looking at the Futurama's episodes now. So, Inagata de Leela, where Leela goes to a planet and invents a fucking Yo Gabba Gabba. Attack of the Killer App, where they get phones in their eyes called iPhones. There's the gay marriage episode. There's the mutants are revolting. I'm just looking at episodes that I'm like, The Futurama holiday one was.
They should do an episode where Zap Brannigan accidentally gets top surgery. But then he won't get it undone. It's annoying everybody because he's like, no, I'm still a man. I just really love having these banging tits.
Yeah, keep me going.
I don't need women anymore. Not with these babies.
God, I'm looking at these, honey.
Flying without wings is cruel fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So
They
I don't
never
like the
make
ones
an
where they're
episode
trying to be
like that
relevant.
now. They never.
I'm looking at these episodes. They did a fucking 2012 election episode. They seem to actually run out of political and like topical ones very quickly.
Well, they have
Oh,
like
and it got into
they
Leela. I
have
was thinking
like
of Yo
Al
Leela
Gore
Leela.
on and some climate
That's the
change
one.
stuff. They're more like a climate change show. Like if you
Like
want to
Sonic?
ask where, yeah, Futurama's like very similar to Sonic the Hedgehog in that like its political background messaging is almost entirely like a little bit of what Matt Groening thinks, and then a whole lot of like
We
it's
know
good
Al
for
Gore.
your butthole or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd jump on that bed down there, but I'm not thoroughly convinced any of those are helpful. Not doing that again.
All right. I will be back in just a moment.
Un momento. Gotcha.
But Creative Doof says I like Fry and Leela getting into old age, and Leela's parents were also emotional. Those are good episodes.
Yeah, Futurama could do an emotional pull once in a while, and I wouldn't be like completely like tired of it immediately. I like the Robot Devil stuff, but I do think it gets a little played out. Because after you do the concept once, doing it again and again and again, like, weakens it. It'd be like if you had sequels to I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Like, without tonal finality to the character, he's fun, but, you know, it has to be like a background bit. It is odd that Futurama gets canceled and revived so much. It's like they know that it's good, but there's like something about it that executives or some such don't like about it, or maybe it's just expensive to make it right. Maybe making a Simpsons
I
like
think
level.
it costs a lot.
Yeah, that's probably the main deterrent. Like making a Simpsons level cartoon ain't cheap.
The Simpsons is stupidly expensive, and people always talk shit about how stiff it looks, but they really are frame by framing The Simpsons. The Simpsons isn't like Family Guy where they just like, all right, we got Homer's arm going out, just cut to that.
They look at the Simpsons like they do McDonald's, like this is crap, this is garbage, and if it went away, they'd be like, ah.
The Simpsons is like this weird American institution now, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I had a thought. Oh, I want to know what Zap Brannigan's parents are like. I want to see that kind of... Do an emotional Zap Brannigan's parents episode.
Yeah, made me feel bad for Zap Brannigan. I always like those episodes because he's like the hardest character to feel empathy for.
Yeah, there's your challenge, and I bet you could do it.
Yeah, if you make the audience feel bad for Zap Brannigan, then you did something. He's just using him as this easy foil. It's like, haha, aren't dudes lame sometimes? Like, yeah.
Can't they be a bit of a
lame. I think they did that early on where they had him crying and walking away, but
oh
it was like for a quarter of a second.
In his first episode, he cries
and walks away like very realistically.
Yeah. I went on a date with a girl and we watched Mike Tyson Mysteries, and she said, we watched the emotional pigeon episode that was kind of towards the end, and I was like, what'd you think? And she goes, oh, that they just enabled the workings of an abusive male. And I was like, all right, this is gonna work out great.
Education breeds confidence.
She's right.
Confidence
Yeah,
breeds hope.
she's right.
Hope
Education breeds
peace.
competence.
They're enabling Norm Macdonald, and that makes my pussy scrunch up. I think I could say that. Hey Mocha, welcome to my stream. The Alvin stream. It'll make your pussy crunch up. Need that on a t-shirt.
That'll be in the Futurama intro next week.
Futurama makes your pussy scrunch up. What does it mean by that?
I don't like this new season.
Well, if you actually paid attention, you would understand it's a very funny joke. Makes your pussy scrunch up harder than a wedgie on a roller coaster. Down, 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 down.
You want to know what
it's
Brian
like the
did
epic
today?
version of it too, to where like the music's way louder and there's more instruments. It's like da, da, ba, ba, ba.
I went to go cook some rice. It said it was done and I opened it. I just boiled 2 cups of water with nothing
Knowledge
in
will
it.
help you to know the world better, but also to know all its
I might
darker
be stupid.
manifestations.
At least you're not eating maggots.
Ew, when did that happen?
That happens to people all the time with like food. They like don't look at it and there's just maggots, and even fast food. I've seen pictures of people like with KFC to where they deep fried it with the maggots on there, and the maggots survived the deep frying, so they're still wiggling around.
Let me enjoy my sausages.
that was the secret herb, maggots.
Stop.
And check it, purple meat, bad too.
Purple meat's not good for you, gang. I remember in high school, I met this girl, and we were talking on Skype at the time. We used to have this shit called Skype. I was talking about goldfish.
You can transfer a 2
goldfish.
gigabyte file on there.
Yeah, thank God those days are over. But I remember eating goldfish, going, goldfish, and she's like, stop it. And I was like, oh, I love goldfish, goldfish. And then I sent her a text, and it said, goldfish. And she looked at the text, and then looked up and went, fuck you, and then blocked me. And that was my first internet girlfriend. I was 13.
Well, I
think
think
about
you
that all the
lost
time.
the one there, and you're just doomed to be fucking lonely now. You really fucked it up,
I'm
Brian.
the Zap Brannigan of people.
Grave Dude says I heard worse. Yeah, the worst food service like tampering stories I've heard were definitely from pizza places, because it's delivery food, and at the time that may have changed now with the advent of Uber Eats, but like people would order the hell out of some pizza. Oh no, actually the worst one, and it isn't even like intentional food sabotage really, but it's takeout restaurants, Chinese takeout restaurants, to where the people working there really don't care.
Yeah.
There's a place near me that had somewhere to the tune of like 26 health code violations over the course of a couple of years, and finally got completely shut down. And I still knew people who'd go there to eat. It's like, oh man, they got good ribs. I'm like, you're not wrong.
People are like that.
The ribs are good, but you know, there's like, they got shut down for like having cans with botulism in them in the kitchen. That could kill you. And like, yeah, well, I mean, you know, I don't eat the vegetables. I just eat the ribs. It's like people get food poisoning.
And can I say the name of a restaurant that gave me food poisoning?
Yeah.
Mimo's Mexican food in the University District of Seattle.
Fuck you,
food
Nemos.
poisoning twice.
Fuck you, 0 stars.
I ordered from there like 3 days ago. I still get sick when I go there, and I'm like, more of that.
One time I was eating a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I got a big O chicken tendon.
I got that at a Red Robin one time, and then they gave me a free second sandwich, and then forgot not to charge me, and I had to get the manager in there. I was like, hey, remember when you said you weren't going to charge me for that second sandwich? Yeah, but no, you got 2 sandwiches. No, I didn't.
Chicken Fit says, oh my god, I just started rewatching Futurama last night. Futurama's a good rewatch. If I have some space, like if I binge watch the entirety of it over the course of like a month and then give it a break for like 2 years, like good, oh fuck, good on some Futurama.
Yeah. Remember when Family Guy and The Simpsons got a 20-minute crossover, or a 40-minute crossover, and Futurama and The Simpsons got a 20-minute one?
Yeah, The Simpsons Futurama was better. It's true.
It deserved more.
When's it gonna get a Disenchanted crossover?
Oh yeah. Your
That
helmet
wasn't
looks like
fair.
Matt Groening
I landed
right
on
now.
the damn thing. Well, I mean, you know, it's not the worst.
I've been
At
told
least
that I
when
don't
I'm
like
falling, we're
Disenchanted.
not going all the way back to the bottom. Not too much, anyways.
I was told I didn't like Disenchantment because I don't see any way of empowering the female. I just
I
think
don't
it's not
dislike
very good.
Disenchantment, but I do think that the need to empower the female character is a lot like trying to get Fry laid, in that
You
it's
don't
only
need it.
good for the comedy if it adds to the comedy, but if it's just to prove a point or to tell a story that has an ending that you particularly want, like Fry gets his dick wet or the main character gets respected, I don't know, it just doesn't make me laugh or interest me, you know? It's not an issue of like gender or whatever, it's an issue of like Fry getting laid is mildly entertaining at best, and the main character of Disenchantment getting the respect of her parents or whatever, it just doesn't mean anything to me, you know?
Well, also, it seemed like the show had a definite point, like an ending it was going for. And it's like, and then I'll go meet my mom, okay, and then I'll go over here now. And it just keeps doing that.
I didn't watch past
And if
the
the
part
joke-
where she meets her mom. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. I tapped out.
No, she meets her like a season later, and then she's like, leaving me is so last season. I'm like, so we're back where we just were? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you gotta choose. Do you want like your 20-minute haha, I can watch any episode at any time and get into it comedy, or do you want to be reverent, like self-referential? I'm sorry, I'm fucking that up. Do you want to be a show that makes me laugh, or do you want to be a show that makes me cry?
Mm-hmm. And Futurama is good at that because it's nice and condensed.
When it wants to make you cry, make sure to keep it within the 20-minute time frame, and perhaps that thing will be referenced in the future, but not too heavily. Or if it is referenced heavily, at least it makes sense to do so, instead of like, our character's gonna arc the fuck out and have an epic quest adventure that you're gonna... It's a tapestry.
Yeah.
I'm
And also,
honestly
Futurama
more
just made me
invested
laugh
in
more.
more invested in Fry getting laid than what's her name finding her mom.
I know. And Fry gets what he wants, and we're still fine.
And
I was listening to an interview.
before I let you forward. I would complain about the fact that it's like, well, they put her needs above everybody else's, and it's like the character realizes that after a point. It's like, it can't all be about me, but okay. Now what are you saying?
Does she? I didn't know she realized that.
Like
Oh,
5
God.
seconds.
Oh, okay, good.
And back to normal.
I listened to an interview with the Doctor Who showrunner, and in the later Doctor Who's, he does these really complex plot structures about like which characters related to who, and if you go back in the TARDIS in this scene, these two episodes line up and do this. He does really complex shit, and he goes, no one liked that. The original structure of the show is that someone will vaguely mention something. We must find out who this hybrid child is, and then he goes, so my job became, don't let it fuck up the weekly structure, and then at the end we'll get to see what all that vague mentioning was about. And that's exactly how I think about it.
Damien Sugarman says, Jesus want a hug. I like that there's just straight up like Jesus from South America here.
Oh yeah. He's T-posing.
Yeah, he invented that.
Man.
I miss Temple OS.
He does totally. Have you ever run Temple OS? I have. Fun.
Yeah, but not well. Like I ran, I'm like, ow, ow, my ears. And I put it away. It's really loud.
my aunt is a super Christian, and
School
she
sucks.
asked.
It would have been better to learn how to make money, how to adapt socially, how to fight cognitive distortions. But over the years in school, I've only gained scoliosis and hatred for people.
Is that how many Adobe products they have now?
Yeah, there's the new Adobe suite. One of them opens JPEGs.
Oh God.
Like how these aren't even lined up right. Somehow they got off.
You got them wrong.
Like
So my
flipping through
Oh.
there. Oh,
My-
look, it's
my
all
aunt,
look, it's all faces. It's like Crash Bandicoot. It's not a texture. It's all
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Do you do that
Oh,
by
it's
hand?
all poly model. No.
Yeah, it's all. That's what I mean by faces.
Yeah.
If that's all polygonal, that's actually kind of impressive. But he still fucked it up. He didn't scale it right.
Oh well.
Why would you do that by hand then everything else not? I don't know. You know what? If they're having fun making it, that's all that matters. And why would you climb up here when this is right here?
Yeah, so my aunt was a super Christian, and I told her that, oh, so it's got a random number generator in there that is, you know, it randomly picks these different songs and phrases, and the guy interpreted it as God told, you know, pick the things. And she's like, turn it on, I want to hear what it says. And it's like, it just spews random bullshit out.
Beep boop, praise
Beep
Jesus.
boop.
Beep boop boop.
Confess 3 sins.
Beep boop, you're going to fucking hell.
Man.
I love computers
It's
that sound like fax machines. Like, ah!
God.
It,
Go
it sounds
interview
like every
Gary Davis
moment of the computer's
people.
existence is pain. Like, ah! Why do I fucking feel things? Ah!
Oh man, I know. I like how this is also vaguely from movies and shit. Like, you know where this is from.
This I'm playing.
This, yeah, what you're on right now.
Nope.
Harry Potter, the at Hogwarts, the candles floating. Okay.
That's a fun reference. But
Yeah, it's a
also,
nice
like,
little reference.
also very not like this guy's like I refuse to create fucking anything.
Yeah.
It's like the Necronomicon earlier. It's like, oh, gonna find out this. Yeah, there it is.
Cool.
I swallow your soul, maybe.
Oh yeah, if I feel like
Oh,
it.
too spicy. Necronomicon. Too spicy. Had to give boobs though. See, I don't see like any regular dude doing it, right? So the NPC like
Yeah,
fetish
you
thing.
and I.
So since it's not a dude, and it's always like jiggly, like curvy ladies that jiggle around a whole lot. I'm like, okay, I get this. Like, we gotta get the boob meat jiggling somehow. How do we do it? Oh, I'm pretending to be a video game character.
Yeah.
I also saw a guy with the tracheotomy whose head's like bent over towards his spine. It looks like he got his neck broken or whatever. And he's
that's,
on
like,
TikTok.
exciting?
Well, he's on TikTok streaming so he can afford his medication.
Oh well, that's a good reason to be on there.
I guess if there were like a noble reason to stream to like ask for help for you're like, oh fuck. That's what I give for making fun of that guy, you know? God's like, here you go,
You were making fun of him.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I think you would have been making fun of him if he like put the TV on his head and started turning around and wiggling his butt.
His stream's more entertaining than mine, damn it.
That's true.
I can't do that.
He's not talking about Hellbender right now.
Fuck.
Right in the head. Right in the temple. You just turn Crash 4 on and it would be okay.
It didn't have to be so bad.
I feel like I started the rice cooker when I saw these people.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path. but
Shut
don't be
up,
afraid.
AI!
You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
I do like the prospect of just coming back to this game once in a while just to try to when I do beat it, and I will. I always do.
Yeah.
I'll never play it again.
Why does it have my actual credit card number on it?
I would have laughed if somebody's like, "Look, guys, I scanned my credit card into my phone."
Look, it'll. Yeah, where do these actually go when you scan them?
Does this mean I can buy anything online now? Can I
Oh,
copy
man.
and paste my credit card and get double money? Ha, lol.
I don't
Like,
I
like
don't
something
I don't have
exciting and-
tremendous I don't have tremendously good credit, but I was at Old Navy, which I go to every 5 years. And they were like, "We'll give you like, you know, a third of the order for free if you just sign up for the credit card." I'm like, "You're not going to get a credit card out of me. I don't have good enough credit." And they're like, "That's okay. You'll just get it anyway." And I did it, and it was like, "Well, you were approved for $2,000 at Old Navy." And they just handed me a credit card with $2,000. Do whatever you want.
Even like
I'm just thinking,
non-Old
like-
Navy related expenses.
Yeah, it would have to be because I can't spend that much at an Old Navy. Old Navy only makes those shirts I wear. I only wear fucking pointed, like collared shirts and like pants. That's it. I don't know what else. I don't buy style like fashion shit. I just buy black shirts. My body is the fashion. I have to keep it in shape, and then I can just wear whatever. I don't need their fucking Hawaiian shirts and SpongeBob t-shirts, you know?
Yeah, I don't need a Hawaiian pattern when I got my guns on display.
Actually, that would be pretty cool. I think that's the falling down guy has that look. Or does he just have the white shirt?
That's the way you do it.
Money for nothing at Old Navy.
Little Brian with the that's his
with the black polo shirt. Yeah,
Man.
buddy, that's his own hair.
Finding the uncensored version of that song was a revelation. I didn't realize.
That little Brian has his own Old Navy card.
Little Brian has his own jet airplane. Yeah, that's the way you do it.
I could go
That
to
ain't
Hawaii.
working.
I could fly to Hawaii and stay a couple of days with the money that Old Navy just gave me. And I looked
Brian
at the
then used his
APR
Old
and I'm
Navy
like,
credit card to flee the United States, evading all government agencies. Like, well, we
Well,
didn't
my
think to look
favorite-
for Old Navy cards. Usually
My
people use
favorite
like an
part of-
Amex.
yeah, my favorite part of the Old Navy card though is that like it's like 30% APR. It's like if you buy anything with this, we're gonna fucking kill you.
We're gonna
We're gonna destroy you.
we're gonna
We're gonna
reap for your
ream
bank
you.
account.
Yeah, so I immediately am
feel
like,
it.
all right, paid that off.
I like that it's basically the same rate as like the next day check place. Like, get your paycheck a day early. They're
It
also
is pretty much
30%.
yeah.
So Old Navy's like, selling clothes ain't enough. We need to do the bank loan scam.
I got stuck in one of those cycles, and then one other time I paid it off the same like the week, and like they got $10 off of me basically. And then one other time I looked at it and they're like, "We're no longer accepting applications from you now that we know you can pay these." I don't do that. If I was smart, I would just have money on me all the time.
I do like when they say the credit card, and it's like, the credit card's a good deal as long as you never use it. And it's like, well, then why do I have it? It's like, well, what if you need it? It's like, but I won't because using it's bad. Yeah, but like if you need it, you'll be glad you had it, and if you don't need it, well, it'll be fine, right? It's like, yeah, but then I still have the credit card. Why don't I get rid of it?
Is it gonna knock my credit down that I have that credit card and it's like all paid off and I don't use it?
It's like, oh no, you got the Old Navy card. That's an immediate 500 points off your credit score just for getting it.
Dude, credit makes no sense. I'll go like a month without paying anything into it, and it's like your score went up. It's like what? Yeah, and then and then I'll pay a ton of it off, and it'll be like, it seems like you're impulsive with how you pay things off. That's spicy.
Creative DPS 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
That's just spicy.
There's a Mr. Krabs AI cover of Money for Nothing, and it's really good.
Oh yeah. It's Mr. Krabs saying some '80s slang. Yeah, buddy. That's his
the way
own
you
hair.
do it.
My favorite thing about these, and I'm probably stepping in not okay grounds, is they'll do like Mr. Krabs doing Billie Jean, and he'll start talking like Michael Jackson. And Mr. Krabs' voice actor would not be allowed to talk like that. They would consider that very offensive.
I think everybody can
kinda
do Michael
interesting.
Jackson.
Yeah, but I'm talking like
I don't
the
think any community
inflection.
can claim Michael Jackson. He's like his own thing.
Well, it's like I guess Bill Cosby was his own thing too, where it's like he sort of just
You
sounds
know,
like he's from
a
a wacky
lot of
Martian
people
from outer
play Bill
space.
Cosby's game.
Yeah, but like so many voiceover
Oh
like
yeah,
it's
that,
not
that
even
might
like
be
a
one that does
dialect.
become offensive in the future. Maybe Bill Cosby doing the awful things he did saved a lot of careers. Like, well, it would have been not okay to make fun of how Bill Cosby talks, but
Oh yeah.
no, make good sleepy.
Robo Hypno.
Robo Hypno.
I still think we've been talking about
Hypnol.
we always end up writing new Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog episodes.
I love that cartoon.
I liked it a lot as a kid, and I think if we brought it back, we'd do okay.
Julia White will definitely sign up for it.
I wanted
Robotnik's
Julia
dead,
White
though.
to play a voice. Did you know Long John Baldry was close friends with Elton John?
Yep.
He's a big blues guy. And Elton John called him Sugar Bear. That's all. And Sugar Bear? Like, I wonder about that.
Are you telling me the guy who played Dr. Robotnik might possibly be gay?
I'm not. That's his business.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me Freddie Mercury wasn't straight. Hey, did you see his wife?
We were talking about that today. Like, did she
I
know?
didn't even know he had a
Yeah,
wife.
Yeah, his wife Mary, and he left everything to her. His wife Mary.
Oh, damn.
They,
I didn't say
sorry.
anything mean. That's Brian.
Well, no,
Brian's
no,
always
no,
like, oh, but
I-
you're so mean. Freddie Mercury's
No, I don't-
hag.
Yeah, but isn't a hag just like a beard? Like it's just someone you have to code that you're not gay.
Yeah, but there's a nicer way to put it.
Okay, well she wasn't an unattractive lady.
Friend?
And she was his
Friend?
best friend. His wife to throw people off? I don't know. But she ended up being his best friend, and they ended up getting houses next to each other. And I thought that was, and I think she ran his estate for however much longer. Like, can you imagine
you know,
being
you're
married
with
to someone
somebody
and like,
they're like, I'm gay, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
she had a good attitude about it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't see how you couldn't.
Sugar Bits, Freddie said, I think I'm bi, and his wife said, no, Freddie, you're gay. That's good. I bet that's from the movie. The movie's not very accurate, but it does have a scene of Mike Myers playing a character saying he doesn't understand Bohemian Rhapsody. Did you know Mike Myers made Bohemian Rhapsody super popular again by putting it in Wayne's World?
You know, yeah, I could give it that. Wayne's World, for what it was worth, was really popular when it came out. It had a Super Nintendo game.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
everybody
it did
gets
with
the
little
SNES
sound
game,
bites.
Brian. That's back when they made like SNES games for the Mask.
Somebody
Stop this production!
That was when Jim Carrey didn't have opinions on vaccinations. It was the old days.
I'm sure he's just the same Jim Carrey is today. He doesn't look like.
He's just not hiding it anymore.
I don't know. Imagine hearing like his uneducated takes from when he was younger. They gotta be even crazier, right?
Oh God,
People get crazier when they get older, but at least like it comes from a place. You know what I mean? But then when they're first figuring out, it's like, I got the whole world figured out. The world. This is the Matrix.
When the Sonic movie came out, he did an interview on the show WTF with Mark Maron, which is one of my favorite celebrity podcast. It's Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, but it's like the original. And describes his first orgasm in intense detail. And God, who did that song? Baby, That one where it's I'd have to look it up. What's the band that did Come Sail Away? I think it was Styx.
Yeah, I think that is Styx,
But
actually.
I think it's the Styx song, and then Jim Carrey goes, "Imagine exploding to that," and I was like, "I'm done listening to you talk, Mr. Carrey. I'm gonna just listen to someone else."
I like when actors say they won't ever do a movie again, then come back. Oh,
Yeah,
Jim Carrey does that for Sonic 3. He's like, and I'm still here.
Oh,
The reason I
man.
like that is it makes the villain's reappearance a surprise. Or if I know Jim Carrey's going to be in Sonic 3, then I'm like, oh, Robotnik's in it, right?
Jim
Or
Carrey
if Robotnik's
refused
like,
to do
I'll never
sequels,
do it again, and then he shows back up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it will.
I think they did
Jim
that
Carrey
with
has
Mark
such a
Hamill's
thing about
Joker
doing
and
it.
Arkham Knight. Like, people were like, oh, Joker's not going to be in it at all. Mark Hamill's declined to say that he will be in it in any way, shape, or form. Like, I guess he's not in it. And then, like, when the game comes out, it's like, oh, he's totally super in it and all over the place.
I thought they got a sound-alike for the end of it, right? Am I
No,
wrong?
I'm pretty sure it's him. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not, I don't know all the gaming facts here. Did you know
I'm gonna
that
Google
Donkey Donkey Panic 2?
What? Is there a second one?
Donkey Donkey Panic is the only game fact I fucking know. Please help me, Jesus. Save my fucking soul
I'm thinking of-
from
I
eternal
think I'm
fucking
thinking of Origins?
damnation. Oh my god.
Oh, Troy Baker plays him in Arkham Origins. So there is one where he's not in it.
Oh, that's Arkham Origins though. Yeah, that game sucked. At the end of that, you punch Joker like 50 times and break a window. Just a window.
Mm-hmm.
It just stops.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Really?
you tell me a spoiler for the Flash movie. I don't give a shit.
Sometimes it's hard to choose
We
the
already
right
saw the
path,
spoilers
but
for-
don't
what
be
is it?
afraid. You can always repeat. We learn
Is it
from our
George Reeves'
mistakes.
disgusting CGI face turning?
Yeah, all the CGI characters look like this.
This game looks better than most of those scenes.
This game has more polygons than the Flash.
Why doesn't you see Adam West Batman in that movie and he doesn't have ears?
I do like how over detailed the bathroom is with the shower and all that. Like it
This is like blueprints for a house that you can actually build. Like someone was like, and if you buy my expensive, some Armenian dudes like my expensive apartment
Wow, Brian.
complexes that, well, hear me out, that you can order to the United States for your big company. He had these models commissioned and sent to people, and then this guy somehow mined it.
I don't share Brian's views on Armenians.
How is that a view in an Armenian? It's just some guy who designed apartments in another country. Wait, who did Hellbound offend today?
No one. I just took. I'm on turbo crack. I just smoked a big crack rock.
Oh yeah. Who says George Clooney comes back as Batman in post-credit scene? Yeah,
they
we
should've
saw
just
that.
Made a
and
George Clooney Batman movie. People would have liked that more.
They may be able to now. That's a good
They
point.
better. Like
Armenian Batman.
not only do I want the animators and writers and all that to be paid more, but I also want them to be forced to make better shit. Like the
Well-
pay raise from the guild and all that for the animators and the writers and the actors should also result in them producing significantly better products than we've been getting.
Well, that's the problem. Is like everyone just wants more George Clooney Batman. And George Clooney wouldn't have been.
Milk.
Yeah, George Clooney would not have necessarily been a bad Batman. It was just the script he was given. And his one scene, we saw it. It was pretty funny. But like, is George Clooney Batman the Joel Schumacher Batman? I guess it's supposed to be, but nothing in that scene read as like And then George Clooney showed up and there were giant pink and purple lights everywhere. And Mr. Freeze showed up and you saw George Clooney in the Batman nipple suit. And, you know, it's the same problem the Tim Burton ones had, where it's like, once Tim Burton's gone, you could totally see that the influence of the creator is missing. If you wanted George Clooney Batman, you would need really effeminate everything else, because that's how Schumacher directed those really bright lights and cartoonish shit.
Yeah,
Crappy
there's
neon
like
guns.
there's a very homoerotic undertone to it, you know.
It's just a tone, yeah. And I don't know how homoerotic it was supposed to be. I just know that it's definitely a toy commercial.
Before I slam my pickle, I like to use my bat condom.
And then I watched Falling Down, and I was like, okay, so this guy knows how to make a movie. He was in some control of Batman.
Yeah, he understands what tension is and what like action is, even, and what like suspense and comedy and all. Like, he's got a handle on it.
Totally could have made a Nolan Batman movie if it was the right time.
I think they just asked the wrong guy who just didn't know enough about Batman. He's like, yeah, like Adam West. Yeah, I could make that movie.
Well, I think
fun.
you go for the camp that it's supposed to be like Adam West. Every time I see that, I'm like, I think it's just toy Batman.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's Michael
It's just
Keaton
look at
Batman
Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. She looks like she's straight out of the fucking Adam West Batman.
Totally.
Mr. Freeze doesn't. Mr. Freeze looks like an action figure, but Uma Thurman looks like a fucking like she's gonna come out and go like dance to go music.
Well, Freeze is definitely like the same spirit as like, we'll get a big famous guy to play the villain.
I'm talking more the costume than really the actor.
Oh, well, the costumes and shit too.
The costume's like nothing. The costume has little LEDs in it, and it's made out of like silver and looks really cool. And I remember it vividly in my head, thinking like, that's awesome.
I think that too. Yeah.
I bet he had a cool action figure.
Michael Keaton.
Get it? A cool action figure.
Michael Keaton not being Batman was like a statement at the time. He's like, I saw the second one, and now we're getting rid of Tim Burton, and I don't want to be a part of this fucking nonsense.
I can understand ditching because Tim Burton's not there, because, you know, he had a vision for it that worked.
Right, but then he comes in and does the Flash movie, and it turns out he's in that Batgirl movie that never got made.
Well, he's getting older
so
now.
he's already... I know, but he's been Batman twice since... like the return of Michael Keaton twice now, right?
Well, he probably wanted to do different stuff. If I was Michael Keaton anyways, I figured in his mind, he's like, did that. I'd like to try some different roles. Now he's getting older. He's like, remember when I was Batman? That was cool.
I guess, but
like
it's ridiculous to see.
His timeline of enjoying Keaton. Batman is going to be different from yours because he was there when it was made.
That's true. And you know how much easier it must be for him to make a Batman movie now? Like that shot where he jumps up and dives down in the wingsuit. I see that. I'm like, that's all.
A surprising amount of actors still do a lot of their own stunts, and like there are regular actors who do some stuff that you would, as an audience member, goes lame and simple, like falling on the ground and like doing a roll. Like there have been like strong fit actors who've completely destroyed their spines doing like an action roll on the ground, just like one roll. It's like, I'm gonna roll. Yeah. Oh, my back. I'm fucked for life.
Forever.
Yeah.
It was weird how Indiana Jones jumped from that train and didn't get hurt in the new one.
You know, I'll say that's what impresses me about Tom Cruise. He does a lot of his own stunts. There's that musician Beck. He did a music video where he was strapped into a harness and was doing really funny walks and like undulating his body and stretching and like doing really weird poses because the, you know, harness allowed him to like, you know, take really weird angles, and then he fucked his neck up.
Forever.
Yeah. He really did. Like, he had to cancel tours, I think. I got that right anyways. He had to cancel all sorts of stuff, and it was all like, because he's filming a music video, and was like, I'm gonna wiggle around in this harness. And boom, done. No more no more enjoying life without. Now your life has pain in it all the time. That's your reward for trying to be fun.
Man. Or you could just be an animator.
Life doesn't care if you're a joyful person. That's up to you.
You could just be an animator and get the Disney disc and like fuck your spine up.
I don't know any animator who doesn't have some kind of bone problem. This is true.
Brian, why aren't you working in Korea with the Simpsons people? I'm gonna.
Don't you want to be an honorable animator who deserves all the worship in the world for bringing my comfort characters to the screen and bringing them to life?
I gotta finish that Futurama animation now that Futurama's back. I'm already
Do you
too
think
late.
that the rough draft animator who's being paid very little to do Futurama right now cares about your comfort characters?
They're not even happy to be awake right now.
They heard like
And they
Futurama got
are.
rebooted and they're like,
They just bring out the old Futurama staff. They're like a garage door. Meh. It's all these
I
sad
studied
looking
animation
people.
to make South Korean cartoons, and I'm drawing this stupid angry robot over and over and over again. And every time they tell me this scary, stupid, angry robot's going away forever, he comes back, and I have to draw him again.
Just think about how many of those people like want to work on BoJack Horseman, and they're like, "You got Futurama." Like, I really want to make a. I want to work on Happy Tree Friends, and they're like, "You make Beavis and Butthead now."
Oh yeah, you definitely don't get to pick. You get to pick what you apply for, but not what makes you money. Hey, stupid, good to see you.
I really want to work on Animaniacs. Yeah, you're working on Family Guy.
All right, you're working on Lucy, daughter of the devil.
I saw actual people saying that that's like a satanic conspiracy, and that made me happy.
Well, I mean, it's literally using satanic imagery. Yeah, like that'd be like me saying Hellbent isn't satanic. It's like it's a fucking demon. Like even if I don't have a satanic message or any satanic leanings, like the character is the fucking devil.
I know, but the people thinking that it's like a conspiracy, making it so that we'll like the devil, so when the devil shows up later, that we'll be okay with it.
My devil is not a satanic devil. That'd be like me drawing like a Japanese spirit demon and going, no, it's my friend Randall the fart cloud.
What?
It's like, you can't just like say it's not, like, you can't say demon's like not satanic in nature. It just,
I'm not saying it's not satanic. I'm saying that there was the top comment on multiple YouTube and Facebook things when that trailer came out was that it was Hollywood conditioning people to like the devil so that in 10 years when the devil comes to Earth that we're going to be okay with it because we like Danny DeVito.
Nah, because the devil's supposed to be so wily and stuff that it wouldn't need Hollywood to seduce you. Like that, even like a basic like religious person would be like, the devil doesn't actually need Hollywood to seduce you to do your worst. He just needs you to listen to him once. That's it.
Also, the devil isn't necessarily Lucifer. The Bible's kind of iffy about that.
Yeah, I like when the devil needs help from like Exxon Mobil or like Pornhub. I'm the devil, and I need you to. This more femboy porn. That's really luring a lot of souls away from the light. So
Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebubs.
Remember in South Park they had the Canadian devil, and he lacks nuance.
I like the Canadian. Yeah. He's like,
I'm the Canadian devil.
Pokes you with his little fucking fork.
I
fly around the room and I poke you with my fucking fork and I go and I stink up the place with my farts like that. Like
he's constantly like shooting left, right.
Yeah, it's a very basic form of torture. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be zooming around like a fly and just stabbing you and with my little dumb fork, and I fart a lot. It smells.
I've been listening to a podcast called Time Suck, and he's going over the life of Helen Keller, and what I learned is like Helen Keller learned to talk by putting her hand over people's mouths and like hearing the air and the wind, or not hearing, but feeling the air and the wind come out of people's mouths, and so she learned how to like talk. But
people tell me that the moon landing's fake, right? Like, oh, moon landing's fake and this is fake. It's like, And then you ask him, like, is Helen Keller fake? And like, no, that really happened. I'm like, that's way less believable than the moon landing.
I believe Helen Keller's real.
I believe she existed. I don't believe that she could, like, understand, like, complete sentences and, like, son of a bitch. I'm getting punished
There's
by God
interviews
again.
with her where she talks.
Every time I say something mean, I go back to the white dragon.
But let me finish. Is
Go ahead. I'm already.
the guy was saying that like her senses were so heightened that he's like they don't say this in the book, but I'm pretty sure no one could smell a fart quite like Helen Keller. He's like, I bet she could tell who did it just by the smell.
Okay, that's
and
pretty
where
funny,
they,
but
what they were eating.
the heightened senses thing, just that's for sure made up. I do get, like, you know, if I couldn't see, I would listen around me more.
Mm-hmm.
But not like I'm Daredevil. I could catch a rubber ball bouncing across the room, but based off echolocation. Like, I can understand echolocation by bouncing a stick around and kind of hearing if it reverberates, like, oh, I'm in a corridor. Or I can tell what room this is in my house because of the sound the click makes when I rattle the stick. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of time to figure that out. But not like, I can't hear, see, or talk. So I put my hand over somebody's mouth and I instinctually know full English sentences that they're saying.
But no, that's not what I'm. No, that's not how that works. She would write the word on Helen's hand, like say ball, and then she put her Helen's hand to her thing and go ball. That seems like a fucking nightmare. They were friends for their whole lives, obviously.
There's no way for me to check that. There's no way for me to check to see if that actually like worked, or you know, she's made, you know, that could have easily been made up. It's only I know how to do it.
No, there's interviews with Helen Keller. She was alive when recordings existed. There's recordings of her talking next to her friend. Her what's her name? Who trained her?
I don't believe it.
Who trained her?
Who
taught her?
Like, you can fake that a lot easier than you can fake the moon landing.
What the fuck are you? What? Yeah, but to what end or either? What end?
I don't know. It seems like they got a lot of money. Everybody knows who fuck she is.
They wanna Helen Keller and her evil plan.
I bet there's like at least 37 people here who'd fake being blind, deaf, and mute just to be on TV one time.
Why are you so convinced?
It's easier to prove Helen Keller's faking it than that the Earth is flat.
I was gonna say, you sound like a flat earther right now. You're like, you mean to tell me someone had the time to train a lady? Oh, man.
Dave Dude says it can't be called Satan out of fear of being demonetized on YouTube. YouTube and everything is all falling. It's not falling apart. It's functioning as performed, but like there's phases with YouTube and Twitter and a lot of other things like that to where the algorithm is just like the worst. It's like it's not friendly.
Elvin puts the demon in demonetized.
Well, you know, at least for the fun that I have, for the things that I like, for whatever popularity it has, not that it matters in the long scheme of things, but just for the fun of like numbers and achievement and all that.
I've never enjoyed 1 minute of working on this show.
No, that's fine. We're not here for your enjoyment, Brian.
Every day I think about quitting.
No, I just have a lot of fun with it is all.
Hellbent's life is just like this. He's just constantly climbing up the Jesus Tower.
No, this is just a future version of the, like, choo-choo train room or whatever. I guess the future version of the train room is the arcade one-up room.
Oh yeah, we have a friend who's building. I have a friend who's building.
I know a dozen
cabinet.
people who have like full like rooms full of arcade one-ups, and like I'm building an arcade in my house, and I'm like, I want to yell at them, but on the other end, I'm like, well, how the hell else are you gonna get an arcade machine these days? Like without it being absorbently expensive or like fucked up to where it's like, well, if this breaks, it'll just never work again because there's no more parts.
My dad used to have like pinball machines in the house. My dad collected pinball machines. I wonder where those all went.
They're really annoying. Turns out they're very loud and annoying, and if you have neighbors, especially in an apartment or something like that, there's no way you're going to be able to play that without pissing everybody off. And
I don't picture a world where you'd even want to play it.
if you're going to do a pinball machine, make sure it's a game. It's a table you actually enjoy playing, for one, like a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Not just any pinball machine, but one that you know it's like, this one has a really fun playback loop and it's really, you know, challenging. And I want one that you would chase a high score on.
I just don't like pinball machines enough to buy one for my house.
It takes up space. You can't put anything on it because the table's like isn't flat, and the glass is fragile and it'll scratch. And when you turn it on, it's super fucking loud. Like, if you think it's loud in the arcade, wait till you put one in your living room.
Right. It's kind of like when you see the size of your house compared to like the size of like your backyard, and you start realizing like things are rated for different sizes of rooms. The fucking sound that's going to come out of something in it the size of a large coffee shop is not going to be this. It's going to hurt.
Oh, dude, if the Dead Rising videos are down, I don't know. Sometimes there's like false copyright claims that like take down a whole ass video, and then they go on and they go off, and they don't even tell me half the time. This chess piece right here is really hard to jump on. This would be the third attempt. I'm just slow motion on this, man. I'm not even letting go.
My dad had I should look it up. It was a Frankenstein pinball thing. Let's see.
I had a Fireball. It was a very good and fun pinball machine. This big rubber spinning disc in the middle to throw the ball around. 100% mechanical. No circuit boards. So technically, if you had a machine part, shop, you could get it repaired indefinitely.
To all the foolish, happiness from madness. To all the smart.
I guess the problem I ran into is that I just didn't want to play the same pinball machine over and over again. And again, it was so loud. And if you invite somebody over to play and they're having a lot of fun with it, be prepared to hear the pinball machine a whole lot too. So, you might think, oh, I'm the owner, I'll never find it annoying. Well, wait till you get that one friend who's like, I could play 2 hours of pinball. It's like, bang, 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 bang.
I had a friend who was like passed out while I was playing Sonic 06, and I'm like, I'm at the last level. And then finally I was like, I wanted you to leave for 40 minutes. And I was like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah, pinball machines take some maintenance too. You're right, doof. That happened last week. Hell if I know. I didn't get any email or anything about the Dead Rising streams, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were just like offline for like a few days. And they're like, oh, we're back. What?
I wonder. There only seems to be one pinball machine with Frankenstein on it. I don't recognize it. But it was the Sega brand pinball. It's you can buy the flyer for it too. Must be it. It was like a $7,000 pinball machine.
Is that what I?
How do you think my dad felt?
Okay, here's the deal with the pinball machines. I had a Joker's Wild. You can go look that one up. It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
It's worth a lot of money, but only to somebody who wants to buy it. Otherwise, you're just gonna sell it for like a 60% cut to another guy who wants to find somebody to buy it for way more than it's worth. And to ship it's too expensive, so unless somebody's going to drive in out of state to pick it up, you're probably going to have an even harder time selling it. And even the guy who really wants it more than anything in the world is not going to drive halfway across the country for it. Not to mention,
I have not found a reason to ever drive that far.
Well, you ship it and it gets damaged, right? Like, yeah, the insurance will pay you back for the money, but now, like, this priceless thing got ruined too, so collectors don't like that either.
Man, my dad, actually, I was gonna say my dad did buy I think the Frankenstein one's the one where the glass got shattered on it. I remember him being pissed off. And I can't imagine what it would cost to actually order more glass for one of those fuckers.
Grave Dude says they saw Small Brawl earlier. Did I play Small Brawl? I don't think I did. I don't recall streaming Small Brawl. Doofer, you okay? You've been hitting the head.
He was hit against a pinball table. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I know someone who really wants to make it like an arcade cabinet for his house. And he already has space issues because he loves collecting retro figures and retro toys and movies and VHS tapes, and I think he may just have a problem.
Yeah, you really need like a kind of Spartan area to work with to do an arcade, because an arcade is a big ass empty room before you put the machines in.
How big is an actual pinball machine? They're 4
Pinball
feet long at
machine
the least.
is about the size. It takes up about as much space as a twin mattress, but like also vertical. So imagine lining up a bunch of twin mattresses in your living space, and that's pretty much what a pinball is going to do to you.
Yeah, I don't need one of those.
Nope. They make digital ones, but it's like, what's the point with that weird viewing angle?
Yeah, you might as well just have
Might as well just play VR at that point.
Or just have it on your TV and just play virtual
I think
pinball.
a pinball game in a garage is good, but the weather and elements will get to it eventually, and it'll break because it's not meant to be in the extreme heat and cold all the time. It'll eventually break down. So you also got that issue with as mentioned earlier in chat with the pinball machines.
Pinball special.
I would like a Aqua Teen pinball with a meatball ball, but we can't have cool stuff like that because Cartoon Network's poorly managed.
Someone asked, how did the glass shatter? Glass shatters when you deliver shit. Especially pinball machines have really custom-built shitty glass that's not very thick.
You can get replacement glass for any pinball. They're all essentially the same size. The only difference might be between like a Bally and like a Midway. I'm sorry, Williams. But yeah, you can do that. It's getting a new piece of glass isn't the main thing. It's actually the placard behind the thing that shows you what the fucking game is.
Don't jump 3 feet to the right, Hellbent.
Yeah, I know. You can see the rough geometry on these. They don't have the detail of the McDonald's sandwich, so it's harder to get. Whatever. This game controls are so bad. I'm gonna be so great at Crash when we go back to it because of this. This game's like hardening me up. You know what I mean? I do find after I play a game like this, and I'm like, well, trying to play Crash Bandicoot, I'm all of a sudden like nailing it, and it's like, dude, where'd all this confidence come from? It's like, oh, I don't know.
A game that suddenly works on an engine.
This game will give you confidence if you play games like this and can get past a certain point. It's kind of like beating Cuphead. If you beat Cuphead, you go play like Contra, all of a sudden shit's not so hard. So why would we jump on this mattress over here if it just sends us that way? Is there like, maybe I can use it to go straight upward, but it seemed to push me way over there on purpose. I don't want to go back down there. Are some of these just tricks?
Fluffbutt says, I have an idea. A digital pinball machine.
They have those. It's a pinball machine with a big TV for play field. And they're okay, but the viewing angle sucks. Like, pinball is a 3D game, and when I look at the pinball machine, it's not 2D flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't, like, animate it isometrically either.
That sucks. I like there's a Simpsons where Bart tries a pinball machine and he goes like, the ball looks so real.
And then like the weird static images come up and then he's dead in the corner and it goes, Bart is dead.
Oh yeah. We watched a compilation. I made Hellbent watch a compilation of dead Barts, and each one was funnier than the last.
I don't like it when the dead Bart episode airs because I start peeing blood.
Right. I don't like when Bart looks at the camera and says, I see you, Brian Shickley. That's weird. And then his eyes start melting.
Like, Fluffbutt, it's not a terrible idea, the pinball machine, but I think you need 3D glasses at a minimum. You had to custom program your own 3D pinball game too, but that probably wouldn't be the hardest part considering building a cabinet and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to cheat this part. I'm not gonna. Kidding me. We were careful about this too. Where's the exit? Whatever. It's this way somewhere. You know, in real life, the glass floors are pretty scary. I like those. That's one of those things that you can get me on that'll make my asshole pucker up if I walk across. I'm like, ah, shit. Ah, fuck. Especially if it's a really long one that a lot of people can be on.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, right. Didn't that like freak you out a little bit just seeing me fall there? It's like, but are you sure there's a floor there?
Yeah, it's real glass.
I'm glad I found this like right off the bat the first time I went here. I'm like, oh yeah, I can vault on this. At least you get used to it being broke too, so it's like, yeah, I can vault on crap. Gives you the opportunity to be a little adventurer.
Depends if the polygons are more on the top of the sphere. Or...
Yeah, the more you know about how they render like a sphere economically in 3D, the easier. Oh, come on, the easier it is.
Please tap the like button. Thank you for supporting the stream.
Yeah, I told Nightbot to say that because you're supposed to ask people to like the stream, but I feel like audibly asking people repeatedly might not be pleasant. You know, not for you or for me.
It's too spicy.
That's a spicy. I'd rather do that.
Please like the video.
But it does help. Then again, I don't know what helps anymore. YouTube will at random just stop working. It's still better than some of the alternatives, though.
How about Titan asks, would you rather be mutated into a monster or turned to a cyborg? Cyborg.
Really depends on the level of monster, because there could be like monsters that I'd find desirable to be like, do you want to be a ever-living fucking vampire? I'd be like, yeah, being a vampire actually be pretty advantageous. Or Blade, like, would you want to be like a Blade half vampire thing? I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, that'd be cool. So you mean I get to go outside in daytime and I'm like super strength and I get to be Wesley Snipes? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Vampires are pretty sexy. People like them.
Yeah, people like vampires too. So out of all the monsters, like, you're not gonna be lonely. They'll be like, oh, he's so spicy.
What's going on, ladies? I'm a vampire.
So if you're a cyborg, only weirdos are gonna be like, oh, cool, you're half machine. You're like cyberpunk. You're gonna hear the word cyberpunk a lot in your lifetime. If you're the machine guy, it's like, oh, it's like cyberpunk.
I like the idea of like
game. Did you see that?
you know how they were talking about making James Dean a character in a movie and like, oh, revive him. I'm just thinking about making John Wayne a sexy vampire.
Make him a gay
I want
character.
to suck your blood. I'm gonna be
I can't wait till they put like
blood.
John Wayne in like an AI generated gay pornography video. Boy there, pilgrim. Drop that sack in my mouth. Yeehaw.
Those are you and those
Gonna
splash
blow your
zones.
back out. Gonna blow it. Gonna blow your back out. Paint that engine blue. Paint that wagon. Gonna paint your wagon. Paint it with my cum. You see,
Gonna
wagon's
paint it
also
white.
slang for ass. I'm a genius. Just, yeah, you don't need the AI for the writing part. I'll handle that. Gonna blow your wagon. Gonna blow it out.
I like the idea of him doing what he would be doing there and then looking at the camera going bum 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 bum.
John Wayne NPC interactive stream. That's too spicy, pilgrim.
That's mighty white of you. That's mighty white of you. Whoa,
Gang,
hold
gang,
on.
gang, 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 gang.
It's very nice to be on your stream. I'll bet, would you be okay if I tap out?
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
I
It's
just
true,
want to take
partially.
a couple minutes.
You're not
It's
gonna
just
be here for
partially
when I beat
work.
this. Look at that! Look at that
You
big
might,
square
you might
up
beat
there.
it because I'm not there. I like that water
It looks like a nightmare.
fading into existence. Yeah.
Yeah. Translucent platforms and giant fuck you mazes. Hooray! Let's go. All right,
Before I
Brian.
go,
Thank you for joining.
of course, I want to hear John Wayne say, you need to turn up the alpha on the transparency layer.
You need to turn the alpha up on the transparency layer, Pilgrim.
That's what they really need.
That's the way you do it.
Play that guitar on the MTV.
That little
That ain't
Brian's
working.
I'm treading on real bad, real thin ice
All
here
right.
because I'm gonna immediately go, well, this is the part of the sentence where I say this. I'm like, no, you're intentionally avoiding.
They should just remake the song to be about Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
And then
We remake Hank Hill, but make him like, Wayne to Fraggle Rock.
I just watched the latest Fraggle Rock. Papa,
Like, he's
the
like, I'm
latest
really
Fraggle
embarrassed
Rock
that my
was on.
husband's like, I got another YouTube video to upload, Peggy.
I got another VHS. Yeah, he's
I got
watching
an
YouTube
interview
videos of
with
Fraggle
one
Rock.
person who played one of the puppets in season 2. Peggy?
Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair.
Peggy's like, I'm gonna go hang out with John Redcorn a bit. See you later.
John Redcorn loves the Muppet Show.
And John
my enemy.
Redcorn's fucking mom. That's silly, Bobby. Where you learned?
As one monk
John
said,
Redcorn
it's not what
likes
goes into
Fraggle
you
Rock.
that's important, but what comes out of you.
Oh!
What about Sesame Street? He likes that too.
He has every episode on Betamax. Ooh, a body massager. I saw one of those. I'm like, that looks like it'd be good to use on my calves. And I'm like, this is definitely a sex toy, right? So then I didn't buy one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are okay.
I've seen people buy them and giggle at like Hot Topics.
I always assumed these were a sex toy.
And you would be right. All right, goodbye.
Yep, goodbye, leave. I've gotten up to the water before. You want to be a Nephilim, toxic hell? I like the Bible lore. I'm doing the slow-mo across this part because I don't like this. It's in the game, so it's fair, just like the copyright violations and everything. See, I'm coming up on the super bullshit parts. I thought I was already there, OCD. And maybe I shouldn't complain about this basic platforming, It's just where they drop you there is not very nice. I want to bashedly use that. Look, another photo scanned item. Like, these are definitely photo scanned strawberries because each of the strawberries has a different texture. But you can't deny that it looks good. It just looks flat in areas. Like, the lighting's all flat. But it looks better than these things. I didn't hear about that OCDE. Stupid says, I assume everything's a sex toy. I mean, you know, if I were to assume all these objects were a sex toy, would you believe that somebody has put every single one of these objects up their snatch at some point? That's why I thought. I don't trust this game for shit. These look like 3D scanned Oreos, but like the 3D scan was lower res or something. Hard to say. But I swear that's just a 3D scan of an Oreo that was like low polyed. That's a real 3D model of a hot dog. And it's kind of weird looking because this, if you look at the size of the onions anyways, and the pickles, this is like one giant hot dog. It's like, this would kill a person. To kill a regular man. Sleepy Dog Zone with $5 says, only up, only to the ground, but yeah, today was nice. God sleep. Hey, thank you for the tip, Sleepy Dog Zone. I'm glad you got some sleep. I got some good rest too. Unlike some good rest, huh? Supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. I can't remember. Every time I get 8 hours of sleep, I consider that like binge sleeping. Like I want to sleep I want to sleep exactly 8 hours, not more, but like, you know, I want to sleep 8 hours a night, but between the day-night cycle, the 24 hours in one day, and the work cycle and everything, there's just not enough time to get everything done. A dildo made out of Legos. I mean, I'm sure it exists. Oh, there we go. All the way the fuck back here. Damn. Yeah, it is pretty painful. Don't worry, Chop Slam. This is only the second time I've fallen back to this point. On the plus side, I'm getting a lot of practice for this area. Fuck. Oh no. Well.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
It's like masks you can put on at the start Toxic Hell. Yeah, Chop Slap, that is brutal. The game's being brutal. I think giving yourself like an hour or two to warm up, and that's I'm happy Brian is here for the first 2 hours, is that you can just kind of run your mouth and get up to like around this point. The thing is, I do need to play this like once a week at least, so I don't start forgetting stuff. But we haven't gotten all the way back to the start yet, for example. And a fair deal of every video game is memorization. Like every speedrun ever is like the core ingredient is memorization. If you can't memorize things right down to muscle memory, you'll never make a world record or even complete it in some cases. Waited a week, damn. People are patient. I get it though. Nobody wants to go to the doctor. Okay, video game. Fuck, I've lost my mind. I've clearly lost my mind. Also, game mean. Game not nice. Game not nice at all. Oh, I'm so fucked. On the plus side, getting back up there is not hard. This is one of the largest skips in the game. Like the collision in this game is broken. Most of your falls in this game, if you play it, will be due to you trying to jump on and vault on something and the character is kind of gliding up against it and going like, no, not this time. I don't want to climb this one. Still technically enough time to complete it, so we're not KO'd yet, but you know, still got a ways to go. And you know, the person who made this can't reduce the well, shouldn't anyway. They shouldn't reduce the difficulty anymore in this because a lot of people have already beaten it under really difficult circumstances. So you're kind of like taking their victory away from them. I'll say this: I get why people don't like it when game developers add like unlimited difficulty options, because it reeks of the designer not being confident in their own designs. Like, it's like playing Oblivion. You kind of just want to play Oblivion on easy or normal, because level scaling in it's like really intense to where like it's like no, hard mode just means you're just going to be in battle like 2-3 times longer, which isn't really harder necessarily. It gives the illusion of difficulty, but it's really just like you know, let's make the math problem longer, let's make the clock take more time. That's true, Fluff, but to impress a doctor with your depravity must take sincere, deep levels of it. Those flat tables are such a blessing compared to some of the other geometry in this game. It does kind of remind me of platforming in Dark Souls, to where it's like, you know, honestly, it's not as bad as the platforming in Dark Souls. But it's the same, like, well, maybe I can make that jump if I jump right at the very end of it. Got that kind of thing to it. Like, are you meant to jump this, or is this just decorative? Sleepy Dogs, on what game was this developed in? I know like a little bit, but not enough to like definitively say who made this or why. Hey, Chelsea. All I know is that there's a bunch of spelling errors in it. I wish this were an Inspector Gadget game, Chelsea. He would come and help us. It probably wouldn't be too hard to put your characters in your toxic hell. Like it is seemingly just the default Unreal 5 character skeleton. So if you can make a 3D model that works in the default Unreal 5 skeleton, which might be one of the easier things, at least there's probably a tutorial for it. Your dreams don't have to remain dreams. Sucker Games made this. Yeah, this does look like a ploy to rip people off, but even some Skinner box scamming stuff can still be fun. It still has to attract, right? A lot of my favorite arcade games are total rip-offs. One of my favorite arcade rip-offs was Ridge Racer. It was really advanced at the time. I think like an original Ridge Racer cabinet was like $10,000. The hardware was that expensive. But you play the game for like 2.5, 3 minutes, and then whether you win or lose, you got to put in another quarter. So winning was just to feel good and put something up on the leaderboard. It's not like you win, continue to the next level. It's like you win, insert another quarter for another race. That was brutal. Or Gauntlet, to where it's like, well, you have life, but it's constantly draining, and you can replenish your life by putting money in the machine. Maybe I just shouldn't go for that anymore. I guess I'll just stop going for that. Imagine a Binding of Isaac was an arcade game. It is. It's called Smash TV, Toxic Hell. If you didn't play Smash TV, I'm sorry, you missed out. That game was a quarter stealer too, but mainly just because it was very difficult. Oh, come on. That is... I swear I jumped. I even used a slow motion. Okay, so how do I, like... Yeah, okay. It'll save me, kind of. This game's a good example of what you can do with, you know, recycled assets, but it's also an example of why deliberately designed geometry is very important, and that slapdash, like, you know, copy paste, put this here, put this there, twist this there. You don't necessarily want to do that. I don't know, you could adapt a game to, like, if you made the vault system a little bit better. See, we're already back to where we were. But you kind of need the slow-mo for some of these jumps because it's not just an issue of like, well, you gotta jump very far. It's an issue of like, will you bump up against it the wrong way? I'm half scared to run and jump against stuff because sometimes you brush up against an object and the character just slides right off like a snot. Like just whoop, slips right through. When it happens, it's within a blink of an eye. You got to be stung by that bee a few times before you learn to fear it. Ayla Zulin. I do like going in this knowing that there's no possible way that the ending to this is satisfying. And now let me get on that truck. You see what I mean? Like, it's partly crap. Yeah, it just doesn't let you. Okay, fine. I like beating games and then looking speed runs up after I beat them and take like, 20 hours and you see somebody beat it in like 20 minutes. Wow. How'd they learn that so much more quickly than I did? I don't know. Oh, damn. Well, there we go. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, that's real brutal. Mm-hmm. I may be better jumping down. Yeah. This one bed makes a lot of the game a lot more bearable to do. If they got rid of this particular shortcut, I don't know if I would continue trying. And that means there must be other shortcuts that are just as good that I'm missing, right? But the thing is, you do some of the shortcuts and they're complete bullshit and they just trap you. And it's like, oh, there goes 30 minutes of progress. Back here again. Focus is needed. If I fall down, I can take the elevator. It takes me halfway up. Maybe I should start doing that just because the game is long. I almost see that as a good thing now. It's like, well, I mean, if you can get up to this part so easily anyways, why use the shortcut at all? I don't know. I feel like Bennett Foddy had better core design for the level. Like when you fell, you didn't feel like you fell because the geometry is broken. You fell because it's, asking a lot of you. It's asking you to be, fairly nimble. Through this one's like, I need you to be nimble, and also sometimes you're gonna just lose out. Sometimes the Unreal 5 character just will disagree with you on what's a platform. That being said, momentum is a really important thing. Much like riding a bicycle, the momentum keeps you stable. keeping momentum in a game like this does keep your timing really good. And even when it's randomly placed, there's still a rhythm to it. It's almost impossible for anything to avoid showing some kind of rhythm. And tapping into that's the key to getting it done quick. Sleepy Dog Zone, I appreciate how Steven Universe just came here, did his thing, then left. More shows need to do that. Where they just show up, do what they wanted to, and then close out and like, okay, bye. Steven Universe probably would have been a 2-season show if they didn't sell so much merch. But I mean, look what they got now. I think Cartoon Network might be going out of business. I hate to say it. Maybe the whole strike thing's having a bigger impact than I would expect. But like I would be worried if I was a big cartoon fan for Cartoon Network like that. There's a good chance all that's gonna go away. Cartoon Network's not gone yet, Toxic Hell, but it's not looking good. Like, people who have worked there for years have been fired, and they're just like processing it. They're not, they're not obviously not like, I got fired from, hey Twitter, I got fired from Cartoon Network. Fuck them. Like, a lot of people aren't to that, level yet, because they want to get jobs somewhere else. If they can't be a Cartoon Network, right, and get some jobs somewhere at least. You don't get another job by burning bridges. But damn if Cartoon Network hadn't done shady stuff in the past. If you think those Adult Swim shows look cheap, wait till you see how much people got paid to make them. Says they didn't like Toonami as a framing device. I liked it when it had Moltar. I don't mind the current one, but Moltar Toonami was the best. Oh, the writer strike's probably killing Cartoon. Cartoon Network was already dying before the writer strike, though. That's giving them too much credit. I guess nobody wants to watch Cartoon Network anymore. I know there was like that weird period, like when Flapjack was having new episodes where they had like Andrew WK on and we're doing live action stuff, and I think that was about the point that I noticed, like, hey, Cartoon Network doesn't seem to be doing so good. It seems like they're dying very slowly in front of our eyes, possibly. And guess what? Here they are. All right, we can get past this without screwing it up, right? I'd love to just bounce off that bed and get up here, but if Cartoon Network didn't have Teen Titans, they go off there. I don't know if that's exactly the case, but it's not too far from the truth. One or the other. I don't know. I don't know how to make Cartoon Network profitable. How the fuck do you get ads for Cartoon Network, right? I don't think adults who watch Cartoon Network spend a lot of money on stuff that like they make commercials for. I think the kind of people who watch Cartoon Network already know what they want very specifically. They got very particular taste and they watch their cartoons, so they already know what they're gonna buy, and they don't spend a lot of money probably either. So how do you advertise a viewer base that spends no money and already knows what it wants, so you can't convince it to like buy anything new because they only want what they want over and over and over again? That's tough. Hey, Weird Man, good to see you. According to IGN, Cartoon Network is calling it quits next month. Damn, I didn't know it was that bad. That's too bad. Adult Swim's still putting out good stuff. That Unicorn Warriors Eternal cartoon's really good. Michael Dragmeyer misses Adventure Time. I think peak Adult Swim for me was Flapjack. Flapjack was great. like you had a great Adult Swim lineup when Flapjack was around, and then you had like some good daytime stuff too. And they'd still play some of the classic shows a little bit more regularly as well. You might get a little Ed, Ed, and Eddie points, which was nice. I didn't program the website, Lazuli. '90s Dexter's Lab says, yeah, you'd watch like Flapjack, and then like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy might come on, or Ed, Ed and Eddie. Later in the day, you get like your C-Lab or, you know, Venture Brothers or something. Super Jail. Chowder, that's a good one, Flurth. Goodbye, ooh. I just wanna go up. Yeah, Squid Billy's regular show. Yeah, Flapjack was the peak of an era. I wish I could only go up. Black Wolf, I wish. I remember Cartoon Planet, Chelsea. Come on Sundays, early. What other games do I stream? Just variety, like Dead Rising, Half-Life, Dead Space, any game with the word dead in it. Pikmin 4, that's in the schedule right now. Pikmin 4, Aliens, Dark whatever, I forget what the extra name is, the strategy one. I intend to continue on my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough, but what can I say, I wanted something a little more stream-like tonight. And I intend to do some bullies soon as well. I really should have gotten to that like a year ago. That one's been on my list, but it keeps getting sidelined because there's days where I just want to play something specific. But we don't have like an itinerary of what I'll be playing for the next year, sadly. I'd do that, but then I'd be miserable. Then I wouldn't look forward to it. I'd be like, oh, I have to play this today because I said so last December. You know, that wouldn't be very fun. Darkest Dungeon would be fun, Morgan. It's a good game. It does take up a lot of time though. That'd have to be something I like do once a week at max, right? Like a weekly thing. Play some Darkest Dungeon. I don't really want to play the second one though. It's like less freedom to build your group. Toxic Hell, I got a copy of Bulletstorm, messed around with it. Bulletstorm's fun. Somebody earlier asked if Brian would be down to co-commentate on Bulletstorm. I don't think it's good for that, but I do think if I tune in Bulletstorm, a good time could be had. It's not a particularly long game either. I think one of the things I like to be wary of when I, decide to play a game is like, how long is it? For example, I knew God of War Ragnarok was like, over 100 hours long, and boy is it. And as much as I like the game, I kind of regret streaming that one because it was so long. It like ate up a lot of my time, and Well, I still have lots of muscle memory for God of War. I'll tell you that. I'll never forget how to play that game. But, I don't know. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, but the whole 90 to 100 hour experience thing. Yeah, I finished it, Fleur. Boy, howdy did I fucking finish it. I didn't get 100% it. I didn't go back and fight all the optional bosses, but I beat the final boss and we got credits and all that. I like short games, Toxic Hell. I don't like 90-hour games unless they're really enthralling or it's like something super dry that I love. Like, I can do a 90-hour XCOM playthrough, I guess, but I'm not gonna act like it's not the most boring fucking thing ever to watch. Like, yeah, I'm even bored playing it, but I'm interested, right? I don't know how to put that. It's like a combination of being bored by something and interested in it at the same time. Well, it's been, that game's long even if you don't play on the hardest difficulty, but it was kind of sad that I beat it on the hardest difficulty and there's literally no reward for it at all. There's not even like a PlayStation trophy. It's like, oh, you beat the hardest difficulty? That's nice. Don't you feel proud of yourself? Like, I guess. I don't like the game designer philosophy now of like, well, if you play it like this, then it won't be fun, and you're not playing with my toy right, and because you played with my toy incorrectly in a way that I've allowed, I will punish you by giving you nothing. Get nothing. It's like somebody got filtered by Dark Souls and it's like, oh yeah, I'll show people like hard games. I'll show you. Make the hard mode really annoying and then give you no reward for it. The thing I hate about like Fallout and Skyrim Toxic Hell is that putting it on hard is just annoying yourself. Like, it just makes the RPG factor take longer. Like, you gotta like go collect more ammo, your weapons wear out because you gotta hit monsters 2 or 3 times as much and all that. So I can't like enjoy Skyrim or Fallout because they're challenging. Maybe at points I'll get into a challenging fight to where I come close to losing. But most of the fights are going to be me like waffle stomping somebody or me very slowly and meticulously going through stuff. There's not a whole lot of challenge there. But I mean, if you play Fallout 2 and 1, kind of the same thing, and with the RNG being so crazy. Nah, Lazuli, it's okay not to like hard games. Obviously, I like my games a bit on the spicy side, but I mean, it's a game. I remember when games are about playing. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing the game, right? Instead of like, this is to prove how good I am at playtime. I dominate playtime. No one can play as hard as I can, brother. And so, you know, I've been playing this for a while. There's these portions I used to slow-mo on. I'm like, no, we don't even need that. Let's just go. I don't even want to see these books anymore. I want to learn how to do it quickly, not so I can speedrun the game, but just in case I fall again, I just want it to be like a quick process instead of like, well, it's going to take 10 minutes because you held down the slow motion button. The slow motion's kind of nefarious in that way. Like, what it really does is make the game take longer to beat. So, like, you know, in a sense, the more you exploit the slow motion, the less likely you are to beat it, because the average person isn't going to have, like, the patience to spend 2 hours climbing this damn thing. Playing Jurassic World Alive. Man, I'm out of loop on Jurassic Park games. I wish they just released a first-person shooter or something simple for me. The park builders are interesting, but it's not quite my kick. Molneighbor says Beast Wars has great story. I need to watch that Beast Wars, and everybody always tells me it had really good storytelling. I never gave it a chance. Sleepy Dog Zone says you did get a reward in God of War. I had to go back to the Kratos room. There'd be a cutscene with a slow slideshow to My Little Pony portal opening. That'd be awesome. I'd be happy to, if anything would have been nice, really. Flirth wants to see me do a Dark Souls challenge run like Broken Sword or when tournament to come back, but every time something somewhat similar to that comes back, it dies or people just stop playing it. And one of those things I have to come to terms with is that a lot of people just don't like the video game genres that I grew up with. Like Unreal Tournament 2004, people have fond memories of it, but they really don't want to play it. And you know, what are you gonna do, force them? It's like, hey, fuckface, play Command and Conquer. It doesn't work that way. Trying to think of a Dark Souls challenge that I'd like that would really be a challenge and not me just doing a play style. Fucking fine. I don't really notice which part of the maze I fell in, but we can take some guesses here, huh? I thought I fell for a second, like, oh, come on. Fleur, they got a copy of Bannerlord, but never got around to booting it up. I want to play complex strategy games, but some of those ones like Mountain Blade require like a lot of time. I like my strategy. I like my strategy games to take like 40 minutes for like a very, very story-rich play session instead of like 40 minutes for like, you know, I don't know. Strategy games are a thing that it's a genre that's hard to explain the exact reason why you like it, right? Like you say enemy balance and all that, but I can point to you, I can show you 100 balanced strategy games that somebody's just gonna hate. They're just not gonna like it. It's like, nope, not the one I like. Fudge. Fiddly dee. At least I remember some of the maze. Like that, right? I jumped up to the ledge of the axe and he just hovered against it and I had to like deliberately move the character to make sure he contacted up the vault, and that is a tricky thing to work around. I'll tell ya. Hey, mustache. I got Unreal 2K4 installed right now, but like the amount of people that you get to play it would be double the amount of people that would actually have fun watching you play it. It's I don't know what to say about it other than it's like it's a lovely game. I love it. It's great, and it's super dead. But hey, we're getting like a new Twisted Metal. That's something. Maybe. Even if it's rushed to development and all that, it could still be a fun multiplayer game. I've seen plenty of fun multiplayer games that are rushed in development. Michael says my breath keeps catching when I get close to falling. Yeah, it happens. What's my comfy game? Ask Flirth. Honestly, Flirth, my comfy game is whatever graphically, you know, really well made game is out of the time. I'm a complete graphics whore, and I'm proud of it. If there's like a really shiny game that just came out that really pushes the hardware that I got to the limit, I'm very comfortable with those. Damien Wolf, Isaac used to be my comfort game, and I think we can definitely come back and play some Isaac, and I'd enjoy it, but I don't have a desert island game. I don't have a song that I do songs in every playlist that I make. Like, I gotta have variety. Doesn't matter if it's games, music, TV, food, whatever. Like, I don't like the same thing over and over again. It's not just an issue of it boring me. Like, I just can't stand it. It feels like stagnation. Up we go. This reminds me of Harvey's Humongous Adventure. Anybody remember Harvey's Humongous Adventure? Played that off of a emulation thing in like 1,000 NES games. I saw Harvey's Humongous Adventure. That one scared the shit out of me. It's not a terrible fall, but I still feel like that was some bullshit. I feel like if the character vaults and you press no button, he should just be standing, and that he shouldn't be able to vault and then like fall down off of something. He should just vault and stand there if you don't press any buttons, which works most of the time. But then when it doesn't work, you just fall and it sucks. And with the complete randomness of the geometry in this game, well, it could be a tough scene. Like that right there, right? You vaulted up and just fell down. Rounded bottle. If every single item were a different one and there weren't any repeat items, the game would be way harder too. Look at that 3D scanned bucket of strawberries. Oh, those are strawberries from the 3D scanned bucket. They're just bigger. Okay. The geometry doesn't look very safe. Couldn't tell if that was a texture effect because this tentacle got kind of smushed. I pressed jump 3 times there. And I'm just happy that I didn't fall. So finicky, this game. Look at that bed over there. I wonder if that's worth it. I'm half tempted to go for it just for the time save. I don't trust these fucking barrels. I'm going for it. But with slow motion. Mattress is kind of worth it. Ah, we've been here before, but this is the furthest we've been in this stream. Hell yeah. Hardy, hardy, dardly do, emptiness, fuck you. That's a good question, Michael. The boat is gonna angle downwards and just go straight down in the bottom of the right back at the start of the whole game. Did I fuck up by not jumping on these lily pads?
You are about to meet the king of the world. He will answer any one question you have, and he will grant you one wish.
No, he won't. I don't trust this thing. I want off it like immediately. What do you do, the drunken sailor? Yeah, you throw him in the water. Do the worst possible thing you could do to a sailor, I think, right? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Throw him overboard and watch him scream. It's terrifying to be in the ocean. I would do it. You know, you throw me in the ocean a few times, I'm gonna stop messing around and getting drunk on company time. No, you proved your point. There you go. Sleepy dogs on waterborne, the drunken sailor. Elred blasts a drunken sailor. Hit him with some beanbag tasers early in the morning. Draw dicks on his face. Draw them on his face. Steal his credit card early in the morning. Spend, buy things. Spend, go on Twitch. Buy, lots of bits. Tip, titty streamers early in the morning. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Fell asleep and now he's done. I have his ID. I don't feel like rapping pirate style right now. I just want to go. Shoot me, cannon. Shoot me to the heavens already. It's okay, we only got like a million more things to climb. But hey, look where we're at. Look, we're making progress. Oh yeah, this place sucks. When they make the tink tink sound, that means that they fall. But you really have no way to know which ones are gonna fall. Like that, how am I supposed to deal with that? I guess I gotta memorize them, but like the penalty for like getting them wrong is so intense. For that one, we have a safety net, Michael. With further ones, will absolutely drop you to the very bottom of the map. You're gonna leave in fighting to stay awake. And it's only 10:02. Ain't too late for me, anyways. If anything, we're early here today. Always a good sign when the audio like sounds like a chainsaw grinding up against concrete. Oh no, they do disappear. Okay, that might be helpful. Maybe. Maybe it's the specific ones that look tiny that fall apart. I don't know. I like this wacky effect. Like, it's ugly, but it's also pretty. I just like how it looks like a screensaver. I mean, this is how, like, you know, unfogged, you know, hung ice would look. Okay, just the one specific type falls. I think. Yay! This may be the furthest I made it, I think. I forget if we made it past this or not. Yeah, we made it here before, never mind. Still not the furthest, but hey, we're getting there. Oh, this looks like a Dark Souls 1 area. There's like this plague swamp called Blight Town. It's got all these rafters. One similar to it in Dark Souls 2. I would hardly call that a reference, but it reminds me of it. My character's a little goblin. I don't know. All of it's asset bot. One, I've heard this fucking thing's like an NFT, but I don't really care. You know, my stance on the NFT thing is that a fool and their money are soon parted. I also think it's funny that like Shaq is like dodging warrants. Like if Shaq runs away from you, it's like, I know you're Shaq. I know who you are. He's like, no, you don't. You didn't see me. You don't know what you don't know what he looks like. He's like, yes, you're Shaq. I see you all the time. It's Love You and Shazam. There's no way that's a floor. So to get yeah, I remember running this like issue earlier. Like the game kind of seems to imply that you want to grab the orange slice to get all the items, right? But like the method of getting the orange slice is like, well, to get the orange slice, you got to jump down this area to where you will very clearly fall a very long way. So if part of the whole progression scheme is to fall down and repeat the entire pirate ship blue section all the way up to the ice level and beyond. Like, hey, you got to drop down below the sea level after getting the orange and go back up through sea level, then go back up through ice level. At that point, I have to call shenanigans and just go, nah, I'm good. I jump on that bed, but we're not doing that. Watch, that bed shoot you up like way past that. That'd be great.
In fact, life is simple, but we persist in complicating it.
Yeah, good one. Real intuitive, you know, that really makes you think. You're right, that was a UFO. Do you think there's non-human remains? It was a jet the entire time. Bob says an NFT is like you bought a painting for me and I gave you a picture of it and told you how much money you're gonna make, and then at peak price to sell the real picture and you go broke. No, sorry, goodbye. Yeah, exactly. Go buy my new ones. There's a lot of real money behind these pictures. It's like a collectible Nintendo cartridge, except it's not the cartridge, it's just the game, and anybody can make a copy of it.
There. Get a job in the favelas and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them and not stand out. You won't make it. You're a weak kid. Go back to the favelas. Your friends are there. Your destiny and life is there.
Ooh, destiny.
Happiness there. Get a job in the favelas and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them and not stand out. You won't make it. You're a weak kid. Go back to the favelas. Your friends are there. Your destiny and life is there. You have to seek happiness there. Get a job in the favelas and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them and not stand out. You won't make it. You're a weak kid. Go back to the favelas. Your friends are there. Your destiny and life is there. You have to seek happiness there. Get a job in the favelas and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them and not stand out. You won't make it. You're a weak kid. Go back to the favelas. Your friends are there.
I had to stretch out there. All right.
You have to seek happiness there. Get a job in the favelas and live there. There are many like you. You have to be with them and not stand out. You won't make it.
I'm gonna get on the plane, but I'm curious. Can I even go up here? No. Okay, I'm not playing around with that anymore. That almost sent me over the edge. Never mind. Looks like we're getting on the Erickson air crane. Danger, keep away. Away we go. There should be a stripper called the Crushinator. We did get to the chopper, Molnamba. We got to the chopper. Oh, I didn't grab the beer either. Missed an item. If those are vital, I'm not replaying the game and going, well, I gotta get the orange juice and the beer now, or else that would be very it'd be so tempting to willingly fall off. Well, you would get a nice view on the way down. You would get to see all the platforms again. Little stroll down memory lane. We're getting close to the furthest point that I've reached. Which means there's a good chance I'll fall.
No goal, only a way.
Yeah, I think I ran over here and I started running forward and jumping, and then I ran into a room with a pit in the middle and I fell down. Because the designer does like to do those. That's probably the top up there. Ah, boy. I do like these harder platforming puzzles that are above, like, you know, other platforms at the bottom. I don't mind taking a risky jump here. It looks like I could get over there too. But God knows I will, and something like unforgivably terrible will happen. Or maybe something really good will happen. Well, too bad. We took so long to get up here, I may as well do the long route at this point, because this feels like the longest I've gone in the game. I don't think I've gotten past this. I'm pretty sure I jumped for one of those little islands over there and got stuck on it because I wasn't using my brains no good. Lazuli, undoing a lot of progress is really fun. Bullies discovered that back when sandcastles were first kicked. Ah, it's fun to give somebody the business. Oh, are you serious? Oh my goodness. What's that? What? Wow. Yeah, we're really overdue to tone down Nightbot. Don't worry, Lazuli. Nightbot can only time you out for 5 seconds. Can't do anything else. Yeah, I'm never trusting those beds, Chelsea. They until you know where they bounce, it's too risky. And being said, when you're angry, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. The view was pretty cool, Azuli. Yeah, it sure was. Fuck. I think there's still time to beat this game, but only if I hurry. Yeah, we get to see a lot of Jesus. Jesus gets a lot of playtime today. I can promise you, Michael, nothing at the top of this is worth anything. Stress or no. Even on a easy day. There's no way what we find at the end of this is going to have any real value other than sentimental at best. And I'm not a very sentimental guy, so hey, congratulations, Chelsea. painful. Oh no. Oh, that's rough. Bwomp.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
I wish there was a secret bed that would just shoot me up. Nope. I was gonna say one last try. We're gonna run as fast as we can. But, nah. Let's fall all the way down then. I won't deprive you of that. We. I want to see where the forbidden elevator goes. How far up does the forbidden elevator go? Is this not the forbidden elevator? No, it's just an elevator. You can take and make that quicker. I want to see the view from the halfway up elevator that I don't want to use because I feel like it's cheating. Have I not unlocked it yet? I guess not. Surely I got past the halfway point, though. Is it because I didn't grab the damn orange? Or is the cool elevator that, like, pulls you halfway up the level just like a joke? Because that'd be pretty funny. I must not unlocked it yet. Ah, this is it. This is the midway elevator. All right, let's see how this one goes. And then maybe play some Pikmin 4. What do you guys still tuned in want to see? I'm thinking Pikmin 4 sounds fun, but we could do something different maybe. Depending upon my mood.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
Happiness.
Not sugar bits. I fell off the damn thing. Now I'm taking the elevator ashamed just to see how far it really goes. Because I want to know what the midway point is. I don't even know what the midway point is. Anyways, hope you have a good night, Lazuli, and you're playing Halls of Torment, Knock Off Vampires. Yeah, I've seen that one, OCD. Looks fun. I haven't got around to playing it yet. I wanted to get a few more updates. Now, where is the halfway point, according to this game? Do Warframe with viewers? I would do Warframe with viewers, Molten Amber, but there's, like, level up issues and stuff with that. As much as I'd like to do Warframe, I like Warframe, but it's like which Warframe do you have? Which one am I playing? What level weapons are yours? What are mine? No, I got a copy of it, OCD. I'm just waiting until they put more content in. So this isn't even the halfway point. I get across this part pretty easily. I wonder how disappointed I'm going to be when this reaches the halfway point and I realize it's like nothing. If the halfway point is this building, I'll be kind of disappointed. I admit. It's going to land right on top of this building, isn't it? Nope. Oh, I even passed all this. This is the first real hurdle. Like, I get to that one bed, then we bounce up on that building, then we get up to the Ferris wheel there, then we run around, hit that bed, then get up there, and then we gotta climb all the way up that, then we get up here. So this is the halfway point? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So this wouldn't have even helped us most of the time up there, like in Ice World and all that. Well, interesting to know. I guess, yeah, I'm not too surprised that this is the halfway point. I guess this was originally the victory point, and the guy's like, well, I'll just keep adding on. It's interesting. This game has a real, like, rogue element to how it's developed. It breaks all the rules. There are so many fucking ways for this game to ruin your day. Now I'm going to do one more thing as part of my education. Then I guess we're going to play some Pikmin 4. I'm going to try to jump and land on that damn balloon. Okay. Go in the balloon? Weird. Oh, it sucks. Like, I know I can angle myself and all that, but it seems you just throw me one of the worst possible
it's hard to choose
spots.
the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
Okay, well, that was educational. I can't believe I walked up the blinding area so many times, though. One of the things that's frustrating about this game is that there actually are quite a few shortcuts that make this game not so devastating to fall in. But that being said, I don't think I'm going to make it to the top before tonight's out. I'm going to have to come back and try this again. But we learned a few things today. Don't trust the beds after the midway point. And the midway point is the weird confetti thing. And that while this game is fun and interesting and definitely not something you would have seen. I mean, you know, it is just Bennett Foddy, so we have seen it before. But, you know, I can't help but to really enjoy games like this that are a bit roguish. It's not that nobody else can make the game, it's that nobody else was gonna nobody else would make the game. Bennett Foddy already exists. People would be like, I don't want to make that game, it's not original. And then this guy's like, no, I want to make Bennett Foddy but 3D, and you know what? I'm just gonna pay for assets. Why even draw anything? And hell, why even program anything? Just throw it in Unreal 5, you're good to go. And while that is cheesy, I gotta say, just throwing garbage in Unreal 5 is visually more impressive than throwing stuff into RPG Maker or anything else like that. Like it, you know, there's effects here. And again, it's probably a lot less impressive on a weaker computer, but what are you gonna do? Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call the only upstream right here for tonight due to failure. And then we're gonna come back and do some Pikmin 4. So I'm gonna wrap up the poll. Who would win with 54% of the vote? The Noid, Gax with 24, Boogerman with 15, and Pitfall Harry with 6. You know, Pitfall Harry was the original Jumpman. Nintendo stole his glory. Thank you, Sugar Bitch. Thank you, Chelsea. Y'all, if I don't see you for Pikmin 4, I hope you have a good night. We'll be back in 30 minutes with Pikmin 4. We'll make it a quick transfer because I do feel like playing some video games tonight. And for now, I'm going to step back. So y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Join me for Pikmin 4 in about 30 minutes. I hope you come by. If you don't got time, I understand, though. It is Thursday after all. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for clicking like, voting on the polls, watching, lurking, all that. And thank you for the tips, Sleepy Dog Zone. I appreciate you very much. Please do join me in 30 minutes for some Pikmin. But that's been only up. What a kick to the dick this game is. Good times. See you soon, hopefully. Goodbye.